Where are the low-value men?
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whisper star, low value mail, low value mail at 9 o'clock. We're truth fiction, take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Happy Monday to all the scroats out there. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail on this Monday, April 14th, 2025, the year of our Lord. Tomorrow's tax day. You guys paid your taxes yet? Like good Americans? Although some of you are probably not American, at which point I don't know when tax day is. In your country. Probably around now, though. They really sync them up like a bunch of chicks on their periods. So we were supposed to have a guest today, Ryan Cristian. Unfortunately, there was a scheduling snafu. He will not be joining us today. So we're just going to go straight open lines, baby. All show. Look at that. Well, not all show, but pretty much all show. Someone's saying, Danny, what is the song called? I made it on Suno. It's AI garbage. I don't know what it's called. It's an AI song. I have it somewhere. The actual full song stinks, but a minute of it's okay. Or however, 45 seconds of it. But the overall, the song sucks. So anyways, yeah, we're going to be going open lines today. A lot going on in the world. A lot I'm sure you guys want to talk about. I'm sure you're angry that you have to give the fucking government a bunch of your money tomorrow so they can fund that just goes wars and countries. Gave some money to Israel. I get a bit of it just for being Jewish. Pretty sick. Pretty sick for the Jays. Tax day. Before we get started, just hit the like and subscribe. Like the stream, subscribe. We're not doing the super chat goals just because it doesn't make sense to do an extra half an hour of open lines when we're going to be doing 2 hours of open lines or something like that. Maybe I was supposed to have a guest, Reagan, but we had a scheduling issue. So there's no guest today, but it was literally 10 minutes ago that I found out that he couldn't make it. So no guest. We're just doing old school open lines. Haven't done a full open lines episode in a while. I'm sure you guys are going to have all sorts of retarded shit to call in about. So that's very exciting. Hit that like and subscribe button. Also, I put up a poll. Do you guys want the super chat hangups on low value mail for $13 like we do on the bathhouse? When I open the phone, I'm going to open the phone lines in like 20 minutes or so. So you have about then to decide. I'm not saying that I'll do this forever, but if you guys want it, we can try it for an episode. We'll see. So, big news. The big news today. El Salvador. Back in the news. More importantly, I don't know why someone's already calling. It's Jared calling already. Jared, the phone lines are not open, you fucking retard. Okay. Finally, I feel like it's the news. The pace of the news has even slowed down a little bit. It feels nice. Feels nice. Slow down a little bit, right? We're not going totally... I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, but the pace that it was going at was insane. I feel like we're getting at a more reasonable pace. But President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, was at the White House today discussing Maryland man, Abrego Garcia, as he has been referred to in the left-wing press, which is hilarious. Way to refer to a person who is not American, not in the country legally, did not even come in legally. He's not like, oops, I overstayed my visa. No, he was never here legally. He came to the country illegally. He's suspected of being involved in the MS-13 gang who are now designated terrorists. But calling him a Maryland man, I know the left-wing media, they have to soften the blow on this stuff when they're trying to score some points. So for the purpose of this, he's a Maryland man. That's like calling El Chapo he's just a Mexican man. Mexican man El Chapo. You go, he's more than just a Mexican man. Again, so this guy, he's ordered deported in 2019. And Trump kind of took over. He flooded the zone with all tariff trade shit. We weren't really talking about deportations. They were kind of just doing Tom Homan, Dr. Phil. Libs of TikTok has been deporting people. I don't know who I'd rather get deported by, Libs of TikTok or Dr. Phil. But either way, that is a uniquely American thing to be like, who do I get deported by? This TV star? Fake doctor from the TV? Or this chick who just has a big Twitter account? Either way, one of them's getting you deported. But so this guy's ordered to be deported in 2019, came to the United States in 2011 illegally. A court ordered him not to be deported because a gang in El Salvador had been targeting him and his family over their pupusa business. I don't know if you guys ever had a pupusa. They rock. Very delicious. I would never kill someone over a pupusa. I would never either have a pupusa so good or so bad that I go, someone needs to die over this pupusa. But things are a little different in El Salvador. I'm sure you realize that. But so this guy was arrested while being in the company of other alleged MS-13 members, which if this is true, how fucking dumb is this guy? Seriously, you haven't turned on the news. You don't see all the deportations going on. You go, I'm here illegally. I have a deportation order. Maybe I'm not going to hang out with guys who are in MS-13, just thinking, it's probably who they're going to come for. And then assuming that you're this guy and you're actually like, I'm not an MS-13. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt here. We'll say this guy is not in MS-13. This is just a huge mix-up. Just a big misunderstanding. You guys remember that movie? What's it called? Born in East LA. I feel like that's going to be making a comeback. It was a big movie when I was a kid. Born in East LA with Paul Rodriguez. 1987 film. Cheech Marin and Paul Rodriguez. And Cheech Marin, this is at the height of Cheech Marin's fame. This is when Cheech Marin was a big deal. But essentially, a Los Angeles native is rounded up by mistake with illegal aliens and dumped south of the border. So basically, this is kind of a Born in East LA scenario here. This guy gets rounded up, except for that in Born in East LA, he was American. But he's like, a Chicano, one of those dudes, real Mexican guy, but American. And then they round him up. They send him to Mexico. So this stuff's been happening. That was like... This movie is almost 40 years old at this point. 38 years old, this movie. And so this has been happening for a while. This guy gets rounded up, gets sent to Mexico, but he doesn't have his ID. So then he can't get back into America, and then he has to sneak back into America, where he's from. Good movie. I don't actually remember if it was a good movie. I don't remember. But, when you're 6... most movies are pretty good. You're pretty stupid when you're 6. But anyways, if this guy was just happened to be hanging out with MS-13 members and he's not part of MS-13, what an idiot. Why would you do that? And look, I don't even believe everything I read about this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out he wasn't part of MS-13. I don't know. Right? But again, how stupid do you need to be reading the news, seeing all these deportations, and then just going to hang out? Unless it's a giant misunderstanding and none of these people are part of MS-13. Which that one I go, I'm going to find that hard to believe. Usually when there's smoke, there's fire, right? Because again, the basis of him being in MS-13 was that a reliable source confirmed he was part of MS-13. But people sometimes lie to save their own hides. Excuse me, that happens. People might lie and say, people are haters. There's haters out there. And they go, you know how I can get rid of this dude? I just say he's part of MS-13. You guys can do that too. Try that trick. You got a chick you're not getting along with? A guy? Just say, call up ICE. Be like, this dude's part of MS-13. Peace out. Even if he's American, potentially. But so the Supreme Court voted 9-0 that the U.S. needs to facilitate his return as he sits in El Salvador's terrorist detention center, CCOT. But then El Salvador president Bukele says that it's not possible, which it's kind of interesting to watch this because obviously at this point, this is such a uncharted territory because the guy is not American. He's not allowed to legally be in America. So the idea that America has to take him back is bizarre. I understand that they're like, yes, there was a paperwork error. Someone made an error somewhere. I guess technically he shouldn't have been here. But, the El Salvador president is like, I can't smuggle a dude back a terrorist back in the United States. And you can't, like, how do you bring someone back who isn't even allowed in the country? I don't, is there a precedent for that? Plus, who wants that? What American is like, yeah, they made a paperwork error, so they should bring this guy back to the United States. You're like, no, this guy's potentially a terrorist. And, I guess everyone's like, oh, due process, rule of law, blah, 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 blah. I guess what they could do is bring him back just to deport him again. They go, fine, you guys win. Bring him back. He lands in wherever. And they go, all right, you're deported again. I guess we did things the proper way. But I know that another country, like when they extradite people, they extradite someone to the United States, like El Chapo. Technically, he can't be here either. So I guess there's some sort of workaround to it. But the interesting thing about this whole thing was Trump said today that he wants to send homegrown criminals, aka U.S. citizens, to El Salvador, which that was probably the most interesting part of this entire thing, was that he legitimately is like, I want to send Americans who commit crimes. So if you're one of those dudes who goes and lights a woman on fire on the New York subway system, we're going to send you to El Salvador. Now, he did say he's not even sure if it's legal. I don't hate it. I suspect it's probably not legal. But then I asked Grok, and Grok says there's no rule that says Americans have to serve their sentences in American prisons. I think it's just assumed every country just goes, yeah, or if someone's convicted of a crime in our country, we make them serve their sentence in our country. That just makes sense. But there's no specific rule around it. And again, Trump says a lot of shit, so who the fuck knows? Great deterrent, though. What a deterrent that would be. Huh? How good of a deterrent would that be? If you're, up to some bad shit and you go, you're going to go to fucking El Salvador. We're not even keeping you in... We're not even sending you to like Rikers Island. You're going to El Salvador. That's 10 times worse. It is weird though. Trump's been railing against the outsourcing of manufacturing to foreign countries, but now he wants to do that with criminals. It is funny how that works. But again, not the worst idea. And just because it's never been done doesn't mean it's a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Do you guys like it? Do you guys dislike it? I don't know. I know that the 8th Amendment says you're not allowed to have, what is it? Torture? What's the 8th Amendment? I was reading about it earlier. 8th Amendment is unusual punishment. Prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Does that count? Does that count as cruel and unusual punishment? I don't know. I want to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to open the lines. Actually, I'll just open the phone lines right now. So you guys can get on there, and we can chat. I just saw something hilarious that I thought was one of the funniest things. Bernie Sanders was at Coachella on the weekend. Coachella, famously the music festival in California full of people on drugs. And he came out. He made a surprise to talk about how bad Trump is and blah, 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 blah. And all I could think of was, how much of a buzzkill would that be if you're like tripping on some psychedelics, MDMA, and Bernie Sanders comes out? Like, what the fuck? That would instantly just put you on just the worst trip. You're like, I was having such a fun time. And then fucking Bernie Sanders came out and just started giving me the business. I have a bunch of other stuff I want to talk about, but we'll just go to the phone lines. We'll go to the phone lines. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you're an audio listener, make sure to follow the podcast, leave a review. Also, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL. I'm going to give away some money once we hit 500 patrons. And if you enjoy the show, support the show. Patreon.com/low-value-mail. Little news, a little bad news. No bathhouse tomorrow night, unfortunately. And I know there was no episode last week. We couldn't use the green room. Tomorrow, I'm going to Vancouver on Wednesday for shows this weekend. If you're in Vancouver, British Columbia, come out. House of Comedy, Thursday to Sunday. You can get tickets at dannycomedy.com. So there's no bathhouse tomorrow night. And even worse news, even more devastating, worse news. Next week will be the final episode of the bathhouse, at least temporarily, for now. I know, I'm sure some of you are like, that stinks. I understand. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. But basically, I've just been thinking about it. I can't have two call-in shows that are both doing poorly. I just can't do it. And I want to focus more on this one. So no bathhouse after next week. I will bring it back, however. There is an out. Art of the deal, baby. Art of the deal. Okay. Why is someone... What's going on here? I didn't pick up anybody. What the fuck is going on? Oh, I forgot. Fuck. Forgot that. I forgot to turn the mute all callers on. And now they are not muted. Whoops. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Forgot to... Mark, can you hit mute all callers? Oh, can I do this now? Let's see if I can do this now. I'm a fucking idiot. Guys, this life's not for me. Let me tell you, this life is not for me. How do I mute all people? Oh, God. No, this is absolute hell. I made it so that people can unmute themselves. And I can't turn... Oh, here we go. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, I turned it off. Anyways, back to what I was saying, and then we will take calls galore. I will bring the bathhouse back once I hit 500 patrons. That's the only way I can justify it. Because I just, like I said, I cannot have two poorly... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but I got to focus on low value mail. I will bring back the bathhouse at 500 patrons, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that'll ever happen. So maybe it'll come back, maybe not. I don't know. But for now, next week will be the last episode of the bathhouse. Also, now I'm getting a YouTube notification. YouTube did not like that. YouTube is sending me a warning now. So things are not going well. Let's go to the super chats. Logan says, poopity D scoop, some sort of, I think he had a seizure while he was writing. Whoop, poop. Okay. Dylan Farnham says, at the bar smoking cigars, people watching, sorry, won't be able to schizo call, but my first language was Spanish. I'm tempted to move there with the feds. Try it. And then Logan sort of says, damn, that stinks. I agree. It stinks. I tried. I did the bathhouse. We've been doing it. We're doing this show for over 3 years, the bathhouse for 2 years. I think I'm spreading myself a little too thin with the call-in thing. I just can't have two call-in shows that are bombing, essentially. So the goal is to work on this one, make it better. But if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/low-value-mail, go ahead. If not, no sweat. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's take some calls. Maurice says, what did you think of Rory getting the Grand Slam? I think the Saudis talked to Bryson, and that's why he collapsed, got spooked. I mean, dude, majors are tough. Majors are... What the fuck? Hold on. Why will... Do not allow participants to unmute themselves. Oh, mute all upon entry. That's what I needed to do here. All right. I caught a bit of the Masters. I watched the end of it, and it was pretty good. I mean, I like that Rory got the Grand Slam. I don't know if anybody here is into golf or whatever, but it was good. I don't think that. I mean, dude, winning a major in golf is one of the hardest things, man. The nerves, nobody can understand. If you ever go play, if you're a golfer at all, go play skins with your friend for like $2 a hole, where literally an insignificant amount of money is on the line. And then when you go to hit a putt, and you're just like, what the fuck? Where are these nerves coming from? Then now imagine that it's $10 million on the line. Anyways, I can't imagine you guys love the golf talk. Let's take some calls here. Open lines, everybody. Whatever you want to talk about tonight is what we shall talk about. First call, we got... Who are we speaking with? You are on Low Value Mail.
Oh, hey, am I live?
You are live. What's happening?
Oh, holy shit, Danny. I've been a long time fan of the Boys Cast.
Fuck yeah.
Low Value Mail, yeah, what's up?
What's up? See, you see, they don't say the bathhouse. Go ahead.
The bathhouse is cool too, but I'm mainly watching Low Value Mail.
It's all good. What's up, man?
Oh man, I'm so nervous. I'm trying to think about what.
Oh, don't be nervous. Do not be nervous. We're on the internet. We're not even on the radio. This is the internet. This is as low stakes as it gets.
I'm active in the Boys Cast Patreon Discord. I'm sure if anybody's listening, they're gonna know who I am. But I guess so over this past Christmas break, I was dating. Well, I've been dating this. Well, I guess how should I phrase this? For like the last 2 years or something, I was dating this chick from New Zealand. She was one of the Pacific Islanders.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going down to meet her parents. Tickets are like $8,000.
Yeah, dude, New Zealand's so expensive, man. That's probably the most expensive plane ticket you can buy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. But,
where does she live?
Yeah, she lived in one of the major cities on the, I guess, the Southern Island. Well, there's only really one.
No. Does she live in the United States currently? Please tell me you're not dating her on the internet.
Yeah. She was an exchange student from New Zealand.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I met her when I was in college. Yeah, so we were dating for a while, and at first she was kind of like one of those like feminist type chicks, but I showed her, you know, like fucking Jordan Peterson, and afterwards she was like, okay, I guess.
Sure.
So
you're going to meet the parents finally. How long have you guys been together?
At that point, maybe about a year and some change. You know, I'm not much of a.
Sorry, you already did this. This isn't coming up. You already. Did this?
Yeah. We broke up. You know, spoiler alert, we broke up. But there's a funny story, I guess, that goes along with it.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's see. So her mom, she worked at a school down there, or I guess works at a school, and she told me she was like a principal of the school, but what I did know is that she was like the chief diversity officer at the school she worked at. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was the thing. So we go down there, and I don't know, she's acting kind of strange. I don't know, her mother's acting kind of strange. Then we go to a library, I guess that's connected to the school, and I wish I could show you images or something, but she shows me these collections of books that he recommends that I need to read.
The White Fragility?
Yeah, you kind of hitting the nail on the head. Oh, yeah, it says Rainbow Parenting, Your Guide to Raising Queer Children and Their Allies.
Oh, yeah.
How to Raise them Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kennedy.
Yep.
This book is so gay. What's the tea? And
there's a book called This Book is So Gay?
Oh, well, yeah, this book is gay by Juno Dawson. I'm sure you can maybe pull up a picture of it.
Sure.
Then the last thing it says, embracing kids, how you can help your kids love and celebrate their bodies. Then I said, it's like, don't you think you're like grooming kids? Like, don't?
Oh, they don't like the G word. I can't imagine chief diversity officers liking the G word.
Yeah, that was the spark for this fucking 1,000-pound or 1,000-kilogram, I guess, fucking powder keg. I was like, holy shit. So long story short, I got kicked out of the house.
No way. Your house?
10,000 miles away.
Oh, you got kicked? No. You got kicked out of their house in New Zealand?
Yeah, in New Zealand.
What did you say?
I said, like, don't you think these books are kind of like, could like groom kids, or don't you think you're like grooming kids when you talk to them this way? It's like what if, you know, a kid just, I don't know, doesn't have a dad and he needs like a father figure.
Sure.
And just go, oh, men are toxic masculinity. And then she, in the process of me getting kicked out, she was calling me all sorts of names. She was calling me like a transphobe, toxic masculine, racist, sexist.
Sure.
She never called me a liar, though, so I guess
they never call you a liar.
They never called me a liar. And yeah, Oh, and when I was down there too, we went on. My girlfriend kind of demanded we go shopping or something, and New Zealand was really strange. There was more Chinese and Indians than there was like English or something.
Sure.
And I pointed that out, and I think that was a big no-no, at least in my ex-girlfriend's mother's
Man, you
eyes.
can't just you can't just notice stuff anymore.
and
what a
for
shame.
reference too. For reference, I'm also a minority. I'm Asian, so it's like.
Oh, you're Asian? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a crazy
I'm
little.
from the South.
Yeah, but you're. Oh, so probably they probably are like, you have internalized racism, right? Because they're like, sure, he looks
or
Asian.
something, yeah.
But...
And another, I'm so bad at talking, and I have autism too, so I'm already bad at social, and I'm so nervous. You're like, I wouldn't say you're my idol, but I look up to you, Danny. You guys are fucking hilarious.
Thanks, man.
I hope to see you guys live. But
yeah, for sure. But so you're Asian, and then she's like, you're racist. And were you like, I can't be racist, I'm Asian?
Or something.
Although Asians are some of the most prolific racists.
Oh, yeah, my mother, she's super racist. She's straight from Korea.
Oh, yeah.
And
the racists know how to, the Asians know how to do racism. They are top notch.
Hey, let's see. So I'm so bad telling stories. I apologize again. But I guess it was like I go down there. We fly from I guess where we're at to California, and California to New Zealand. Then we get there, and her mother, I guess she's actually kind of nice for maybe like the first few days, and she compliments, I guess, my diversity, my openness, or something. Then I think the first big, I guess, monkey paw thing closing was when my girlfriend said that I voted for Trump. And at first, my girlfriend's mother thought I was joking. It's like, oh, well, you have to be kidding me. Like, surely you don't actually vote for the racist. It's like, well, I think he's pretty cool, you know. It's like, because Kamala Harris, who the fuck is going to vote for Kamala Harris? You know?
The mom probably wishes she could have voted for Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah. And the news cycle down there, too, like, they always focus on America. It's pretty crazy.
That's everywhere in the world. That's kind of everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. But so she found out you voted for Trump, and you kind of were like, said the G word, called said grooming, and that was just kind of it, huh?
Yeah, then. Oh, yeah, and also I enjoy shooting guns and shooting pistols and target blinking and all that. So I said that one of my hobbies is just, you know, shooting guns. Her mother looked at me like I'm some madman or something. Then she went on. I guess apparently there was some crazy dude in Christchurch, New Zealand, that went up and shot like fucking 30 people or something. I don't know.
Yeah. There was a big shooting there.
I don't want to take up too much time, but I guess just to finish the story. Thank you for letting me speak so long. I watched this show, and sometimes it was like Roof Star or somebody calls in and he gets hung up like 10 times in a row or something.
That's on the bathhouse. That's not on this show. Although I did. We might do it today. Should I do it today? Okay. The vote's like 50-50. It's like 54-50. I feel it's too close.
But if you give me maybe less than 5 minutes or something, I'll put a bow on this and wrap.
Yeah, go ahead. Wrap it up.
Yeah. So flashing forward, I dropped the G bomb and say like, don't you think these books could like groom kids or something? It's like, what if you give a kid, you know, Jordan Peterson's book or something?
Oh, you fucked up, man. you didn't think it was a good idea to do this over like a Zoom call from America? Maybe like meet them over Zoom versus flying to fucking New Zealand?
I spoke with her mother before, and they use this thing called WhatsApp. So I WhatsApp, like FaceTimed with her mother many times before this, and I'm the same way because previously I explained to her, I used to work at a tech company back in 2021, and we had special George Floyd shirts we had to wear because the company is based out of Minnesota. And I said, can I wear my regular shirt, man? I'm here to sell tech. I'm not here to, you know, promote an agenda. Then I got reprimanded from my job, and I eventually left.
Yeah.
And then on another job, we're supposed to wear these like queer shirts for the Pride Month. But then I was like, I don't really appreciate that shit. I'm just gonna wear my regular shirt. Then I actually got fired from that job.
Yeah.
So I told her about all these, and she was really understanding and supportive.
Now, is this why you eventually broke up with your girlfriend over all this stuff?
Well, the funny story is, so after dropping that G-bomb, I got kicked out of the house when I was 10,000 miles away from America. Then my girlfriend then calls me and says, like, hey, you should probably get your stuff or something. I'm not sure what the fuck we're going to do with this. And I was like, okay. Sorry, I'm so nervous right now.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I want to hear the story.
My voice.
So you went and got your shit.
Yeah. Then when I was packing up my stuff, I had about an hour to pack up all my stuff. Then my girlfriend kind of comes in, kind of like all wobbly and shaky. Then she's like, and she's just kind of like saying a few words, but she's not really talking. Then her mother barges in, and her mother just like unloads verbally on me for like 45 minutes straight.
Damn.
Just like, oh, like you're all this, you're all that. You know, this is why, you know, hatred exists. You're evil. I was like, geez. And this is, I don't even know.
That's crazy. You did at any point you were like, you know what, when someone's, because here's the thing, if I was in your situation and I start showing, they go, here's these like white fragility and you got to read all this, I would probably, based on the books they're prescribing you, I would be like, yeah, if I like give my opinions here, this is going to be a fucking mess. Like, I'll just keep my opinions to myself because I'm in New Zealand.
Yeah, because I don't know, because like I said, I'm super autistic, so it's like,
yeah.
Her mother was, at first her mother appreciated my openness, but then I guess when I was truly open, she didn't really like that.
Yeah, guys, women like to tell you honesty is the best policy. It's not true. Lying is the best policy. Yeah. Lying is absolutely the best policy. You could have salvaged this vacation. So what did you do? Just to wrap this up. So this was like what, on one of the first days of your trip?
Oh no, our trip was probably going to be about 3 weeks, but on the second or so week, like maybe the second week and a few days in,
that's when you went
kicked out.
Oh, okay. So it was near the end at least.
Then I had to pay like another, he's like $2,000, like on one-way ticket to leave tomorrow. I was like, geez.
And then that was it for you and the girl?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, and sometimes she would still try to send me shit on like Instagram, but it's like, no, this shit's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be with someone whose parents hate you that much. There's no coming back from that one. All right, man. Thank you for calling in. It was good talking to you.
I love you, Danny. Yeah,
dude, appreciate
maybe
it,
I'll
man.
become a regular. Who knows?
Yeah, man. Do it up. All right, later, dude. Yeah, guys, just lie. Come on. Everybody knows better. Just everybody thinks, oh, I should be honest. No. Lie. Just lie. Go, oh, you literally, this is what you do. You play dumb. You play as dumb as possible. You go, gay kid books. You just go, what's that? You just are like, I don't get it. Why kids are gay? And you make them just keep going. Just be like, oh, you just are like, I don't know about any of this. What's diversity and inclusion? I have no idea what you're talking about. You're like, I'm Asian. I have no clue what you're saying. All right. Let's take another call here. Phone lines are open. 1-888-949-2969. We're going open lines, baby. Baby. Hello.
Danny.
What's happening? You are on Low Value Mail.
So, I saw that Robert Kennedy is doing that big audit for autism.
Yeah, apparently we're going to find out where autism comes from later this year.
Yeah,
I hope it's not podcasts.
Because of someone. That guy's had I got the diagnosis forever, so I was like, what's your opinion on all of this? Do you think people just have no attention spans, or?
I think people have had this, whatever we call autism now, has been around forever, and they were called eccentric or weird or many other terms that just were not autism, and now autism is just this like massive catch-all but I don't think the rates are increased. Now, in terms of like, the people who have to like wear helmets because they'll like bang their head on the wall, I don't know if those numbers are higher, but in terms of someone just being like, it was unheard of for girls to say they had autism 10 years ago. And now you hear girls being like, oh, I think I might have some autism. Like that didn't exist recently. So I think it's just like this super blanket term. But in terms of like, I don't know, like the severe cases of autism, like what we probably would have called autism in like the 90s where you needed special schools and whatnot. I don't know if that's higher. If I had to guess, probably not, but maybe. Like, what's your autism? You just fixate on stuff.
I have like 8. I don't know, because I know when I was because ever since I was young, they always knew I was different. Like every like parent could just tell that like I just acted differently from other kids.
Yeah.
And like growing up in school, like I went to like one that like specialized in special needs, and like when we were tested, I look at all the kids who were tested along me, and it's like, fuck, they killed it, they nailed it.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: so you sound pretty normal to me.
So what happened with me is I got really lucky because one, my brother was captain of the hockey team, so when people tried to bully me, he'd always like step in.
Yeah.
So and then I also did an after school program that like focused on reading and writing.
Okay.
So, like I can't spell. Like my spelling is terrible, but like I can read fine. Like I can tell like my thoughts easily. And like I do have trouble with things, like especially living with like roommates who all aren't, well, one is, but like aren't autistic. They can kind of like tell things about me.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Is there something you're really good at that's like really do you have a skill that you're specifically?
I'm really good at untangling wires.
Oh, that sounds autistic.
Like if you give me like Christmas lights or headphones.
Yeah.
Like, those babies will be undone in like a minute.
Right. So
I have a really good memory for like random stuff too. Like I remember this girl told me something in middle school, and then in college I referenced it, and she was like shocked.
Right. So that's something. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing is with this quote unquote autistic people is you're generally like, you just have probably a different way that you learn, but you're capable of learning as it sounds like. Because again, it sound totally normal to me. You don't sound like someone who has
like it. It's crazy. Like growing in school, like they just wanted to put me in like after like high school, they wanted to like put me in like a house and just do nothing. And now I like work in the trades, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna learn this shit.
Yeah. So now you work. So you work in the trades. You probably make decent money.
Yeah.
What trade do you have?
A lot of them. I'm in roofing.
You're in roofing. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
I want to do plumbing, but like getting an apprenticeship right now is like impossible.
Really, it's really hard to get an apprenticeship.
Yeah, like I thought with like roofing, like I was like, hey, I'll do roofing for a bit and then I'll like apply for plumbing. And like I've applied a bunch. I've talked to plumbers. I've just gotten like nothing.
Yeah.
I think too many people have gone on trade TikTok and are just like, oh, it's an easy $100,000 a year. So now they're just like, fuck.
Yeah,
like,
everybody.
What's the point of hiring people?
Everybody's spilling into the trades. Interesting. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again with the autism thing, I don't really know. Like you don't sound autistic to me. You seem like you're gainfully employed and take care of yourself. I guess.
Do like anime, so
yeah, but that's I don't know. Lots of people like anime. I don't know. Does that necessarily make you autistic? I mean, it could be an autistic thing to like, but I don't know. I don't know.
The big Venn diagram for those people.
Yeah. All right. Well,
also I was gonna say, you should try and like pump clips out for this show because it's amazing. I don't get how you don't get like people.
You know what? I used to put clips out. It's like this. The clips never did well for this show. Like I was doing clips for like 2 years, and like literally they all bombed. Like I could never figure out. I don't know. Just for a call-in format, I don't know why I could just never get clips. But I might give it another try. See if maybe something's changed. I mean, I have literally people call in for 20-minute fucking phone calls.
One more quick story about JJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I was trying to get my coworkers to like listen to the boys cast, and like after months of like bitching about it, they finally put it on, and I forgot the episode with JJ, and they loved the intro. And then as soon as it started, he's like, "Yeah, I licked cum off the ground. It was amazing." And they just shut it off and looked at me. I was like, "Shit." Yeah,
that'll do it. That'll do it. They're like, what kind of? They probably were like, "What kind of shit does this autistic guy listen to?"
Yeah. And it's like,
What
listen,
is this, like
normally not like that unless that one guy's around.
Yeah, you're like, is
Then it
this
gets
like
bad.
kind of weird autism fucking podcast? Yeah. That's
No, that's my other podcast.
Yeah, you got to be careful with JJ. All right, dude. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, man.
All right. No problem. Take care.
Later. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this autism stuff. Logan says, just shared this video around, and a lot of people said back to me, I don't want to watch political shows. They don't even check it. Yeah, I don't know. Dylan says, first convo with my wife was me returning shopping carts explaining MK Ultra. Now we have 2 kids. She's extremely racist. Rich, we're going to make it, bros. There you go. See, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see. Iron Man Metal Bill says, my mom's in the hospital. She's 88. Please say a prayer. She lost her husband of 64 years. Thanks, God bless. Sorry to hear that, Iron Man Metal Bill. Billy from Philly. Hope she gets well. I do mean that. Dylan Farnham says, I just bought a Rodecaster Duo and have my pod set up. How much does it cost to do a call-in show? Well, if you're a fucking idiot like me and you get an 800 number, the 800 number costs like $200 a month. But for the most part, it's fairly cheap besides that. You need a camera, some camera equipment. I mean, the cameras, you don't need a crazy camera, though, to do it. You need Restream. What else do you need? Which is like $20 a month. That's about it. And then you need a YouTube channel where you can live stream, or somewhere where you can live stream. Big Chim, it says the bathhouse in the hospital. It's 3 years old. Please say a prayer. Just lost a real ass podcast of 9 years. Thanks. God bless. Well, hopefully, I'm being probably too hopeful, but maybe we'll hit 500 patrons and I'll bring it back. But until that happens, we'll see. But I'm telling you, it's not looking good. I was looking at the Patreon today. Not looking great. So, but you never know. Sammy says, did you look at the vaccine schedule for kids before 1988? They only took like 4. Now they take over 25. But again, I've been talking about the different types of autism. I want to know like the fucking helmet autism. How is that like the Rain Man shit? Are there more Rain Mans? Because I don't really run into a lot of Rain Man type folks. You don't see them. But doesn't mean they're not around. I just don't see them. Maybe they're in special homes. I don't know. All right, let's take another call here. This is not Matt.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going? Who am I speaking with? Is this Matt? No, not Matt.
Yeah.
Not Matt. What's up?
It's either.
It's either.
Whichever you feel.
Okay. What's happening?
Not much. I called in because I actually live right near where the dude in Maryland was deported from.
Really? Is it? I imagine it's a big story there.
Not really.
Is there a lot of MS-13 in Maryland?
Oh, dude, the Maras are everywhere around like Maryland and North Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's all Central Americans here.
Interesting.
And speaking as someone who has basically exclusively dated them for the last like 10 years.
Yeah. They're fiery bunch, huh?
No.
You ever have a knife pulled on you?
No. I date like the moderately toxic ones.
Oh, the moderately
The ones
toxic.
who just like cheat on you.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's doable. I mean, you're not going to get killed doing that. Yeah, do you care that they sent this dude away to El Salvador?
I don't know. I'm of two minds. Like I'm fairly like libertarian, like fairly like Dave Smithish.
What's the libertarian argument for this stuff?
I mean, you could argue the Clint Russell approach, which is that like nations, like we understand that they shouldn't exist, but in the sense that they do exist, their primary function is to serve the citizens of that country.
Sure.
However, the other part of me is I have never had more fun around Latinos. Like white people are boring as fuck now. Like,
yeah. You hear that, white people? You're on notice, white people. All the white people watching the show, you're boring.
Yo, I'm a white dude. I worked at a hood liquor store and like lived around like Latinos, and it's the most fun I've ever had in my life is going to like cookouts and like carne asadas. Like, I don't know. It's just a more fun way of life. But as far as like I can tell, like what you were saying about like don't hang out with like the Maras is like it's kind of hard because it's like the inner cities where you kind of have to pick your colors. Like where you're kind of.
But then here's the thing: if you're saying you have to pick your colors, then I'm assuming this guy was in fact in MS-13. That the only thing I was saying about that was I'm like maybe this guy got mixed up and he's like not in MS-13, and he happened to. But if you're saying that, then I'm like, okay, well this guy is in MS-13 and get him the fuck out.
No. It's more like it's hard not to be around someone who's in MS-13, but there's like the people that are doing like stuff, and there's the people who are just around it because their cousin is a member,
right?
And so like in that area of Maryland, it's like I lived in Gaithersburg, like where like Nick Mullen came up,
okay,
and like it's all Latinos there.
So do you hang out with people who are in MS-13?
Not knowingly, but I would be surprised if I hadn't hung out with people in the past who are in it or related to it.
Sure. So it's possible.
But it's not like people are going around. Yeah, it's not like people are going around saying like, "Oh, I'm in a gang." It's like it's just kind of there.
Yeah. They don't have like MS-13 tattoos. Don't they all have like crazy tattoos and stuff?
I mean, everyone around here has tattoos. I don't know what any of the gang tattoos look like.
Right.
Plus, like you were talking about it on one of your shows like a little while back where it's like, I think it was on the Boys Cast where it's like, one of the tattoos for MS-13 is a star.
Yeah, I know. It's like the star on the elbow, and there's like the Jumpman logo where you're like, a lot of people have these ones.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily.
Yeah, it's like, so, I don't know. Plus, it's the government telling you this. It's Tom Holmes.
Yeah, and again, I am somewhat skeptical. Like, I don't just believe everything the government says. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out where, and again, this guy did have a standing deportation order, and I don't know. Like, I was reading stuff online, and people are like, look, if his family's pupusa business is, like, if they're facing violence, it's very likely from some other gang. It's very likely because he is involved in some gang activity. Like, generally, it's not just like,
or he just didn't want to pay extortion.
That's true.
I mean, like,
yeah, but his family's there though, so
happened?
it's like his family's still running their business. So like, you have to assume if they're not just like, we're not paying it, and then they're fine because he's in the United States. You got to figure like that would still cause problems for them.
You'd be surprised. So I've dated a couple girls from Honduras, and Honduras was like as bad or worse than El Salvador.
Yeah,
but
I've heard.
The reason it didn't get reported on is because like the U.S. was basically like Honduras was basically like a puppet of the U.S. Like if you look at who voted with Israel on all the resolutions against recognizing Palestine as a state, you'll see that Honduras voted with the U.S. and Israel every time.
Interesting.
Where it was like
good boys.
There was like 7 countries that would vote against it, and like Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras, basically his brother was the biggest narco in the country, and he just got extradited to the U.S.
Really? Did you see that fucking? There was like there was in Texas or whatever. I talked about it a few weeks ago, but the U.S. they're rescinding visas of all the narco singers or whatever. Like in Mexico, like
the Doritos people,
yeah, or whatever. Like all the singers who sing about like all the narco stuff or whatever, they're like taking away their visas to visit or perform in the United States. Like they can't even visit the United States. And then this guy had a concert somewhere in Texas last week, and he refused to sing those songs because he didn't want his visa taken away. And the place, they just rioted. Like they fucking absolutely like destroyed the venue because they were so mad he wouldn't sing these songs.
I don't know. I see that as the same way as I see like all these rappers like rapping about like or like if if they couldn't Tupac couldn't do Ambitions as a Riot. It's like this is the dumbest shit. Like
I mean I agree. It's definitely I mean, there's definitely 2-tiered free speech in this country right now. That's no question about it. You're like, free speech is for American citizens only at this point.
It's not even the free speech. It's just like thinking like, because like, as in like an anarchist, I don't see things like the way political parties do, and I just watch them overcorrect over and over again.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you wanted to do deportations, do deportations. But once you start doing dumb shit like we're getting rid of people who protest Israel, or we're getting rid of, like, people who are singing, like, narco corridos, it's like, well, now you're just kind of being dumb. And you see, like, a huge, like, I don't know, hardening on the Trump side, where they're like, yeah, like, it really is that, like, dumb, like, you know, fuck all these people.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're seeing that, like, in the same way, like, with all the trans shit, like, that pushed everyone to, like, support Trump. I don't think they realize that, like, hey, most people don't think this way.
No.
Most people are just like, yeah, like, the violent ones, get rid of them. But, like, most of the ones that are here, you know, serve them deportation notices, you know, try and do it in a, you know, less brutal manner.
Sure.
And, you know, don't, or at the very least, don't dehumanize them.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, I mean, I don't think
like,
the fucking narco corridos or whatever is like causing, you know, that's literally the equivalent of, you know, like gangster rap causes violence, where you're like, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah, no, literally, I go out to like Latin bars every weekend. Like, they're where I hang out. And all they do is play like reggaeton, bachata, salsa, narco corridos. That, like, it's just music.
Yeah, it's just
and
music.
I think that, I don't know, I think that, like, the Trump people are drastically in, you know, they're bum rushing towards overcorrecting.
Yeah.
And I think
agree.
that it's just like a bad, like, I mean, even if you do, like, go through and say, like, hey, we're deporting these people, this is kind of why I really enjoy listening to you. And for what it's worth, I'm tossing you a Patreon subscribe after this, because, you know, I really enjoy these shows. Like,
nice.
I used to listen to Tim Pool a lot, and I stopped listening to him because
people were mad at him last week. I went and did his show on Thursday, and, like, his views were, like, down so much. People were so pissed about his thing with Carmelo Anthony. They were like, fucking, my whole Twitter
I didn't even
feed.
know about that.
Oh, he basically just said
I'm the
that.
dude that called in last time when you were on there, and I was like, yo, you got to get war mode back on.
Yeah. He basically, Tim Pool last week was essentially saying that guy Carmelo Anthony, who stabbed that guy in Frisco, Texas, he was saying it was like self-defense. And everybody was just fucking losing their minds. Like, people were like, is he trolling us? And he wasn't. Like, he's just like, that's what he believes. He believes that it was self-defense. And people were so fucking mad at him. Like literally all these comments on that episode being like, I'm never listening to this ever again. Like, your show, like, I hate you. It was a kind of crazy
he just
take.
kind of got annoying for what it's worth. Like, I really enjoy you. Like, you have a very, like, modest approach to things.
Yeah.
And even like, you're very politically tactful is what I'd call it, where you'll say, like, oh, okay, we have to deport these people regretfully. You know, we don't hate them. If we were in their position, we would have done the same thing. Like, if you were living in, you know, Central America or like Venezuela, like, and there was a free ticket to come to another country,
sure,
you sure as shit would do that too.
I mean, I'm sure Mexico
So
deports tons of people to Central America who shouldn't be in Mexico, and I'm sure people get deported from every country. I can't imagine there's a country on earth who doesn't deport people.
Oh, like, no, 100%. But I think that just, like, when you go, like, all rah about it, and it's like, yeah, get the fuck out of this country. It's like, no, chill out. Like,
for sure.
Like,
and not only that,
alienating people.
Yeah, that callousness, like, gets points for the other side, because there are people who are like, yeah, I'm pro deportation. Maybe I voted for Biden, and then I voted for Trump this time around, and then they're like, yeah, I don't like this though. They're like, this is too much. I don't want you to be doing this gleefully. Like, I want you to be, like you're saying, like, you're like, just do it, but don't be, like, mean about it.
Yeah, no, and
now, but I also understand part
100%.
of the Trump strategy is literally, like, making people afraid to be here so that they just show themselves out and the government doesn't have to do it. And they go, that's a, you know, it does seem like that is part of the strategy, where they're causing so much fear, where people are like, you know what? I don't need the chance of going to fucking El Salvadorian prison. I'll just go home. Like, I don't want that. And I think that's by design.
So my take on it is, like, if you're going to deport people, deport like the Central Americans last, especially like from the area, like to kind of bring it back to where we started, like deport them last from this area, because there are people who have houses here. It's not like people, like when they talk about like, oh, they're leeching off the system. That's not like
that's not the
generally
case
occurring in like the Maryland area, because there's generally like a family that has a house and they have like a business.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're not leeching off anything. They're kind of just living a multi-generational family.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And like,
and they're paying taxes.
Those are the people. Oh, 100%. And those are the people that like, I would rather like, you know, if you're doing things with a strategy, you know, deport the people who don't have that kind of lifeline already here and actually have to live off the system.
Yeah.
Like,
but again,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, when you're
no,
just dumping.
I agree with that. Like, but the problem is that like they promised they were like, we're getting rid of all the dangerous people. And then now they're like, yeah, we're just getting rid of the dangerous people and whoever else we happen to scoop up, you know? And
100%.
And I said that at the beginning. I go, that is a risk for the Trump administration. Because if you get enough stories, not even like this guy, but stories of just like, you know, there was one story of some guy that I was reading today where basically they were looking for someone and they found he was like getting into his house. He was like, I think he's like 19 years old and he's been here since he was 7, getting into his house. And they were like, this isn't the guy. And they were like, just take him too. And they deported him. And he wasn't even the person they were looking for. He was here illegally, obviously, but enough of those stories, people are going to be like, yeah, we're overdoing it. I don't think the general American has the appetite for that, for too much of that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Anyways, I got
my personal beef right now is, you're all good.
Yeah. Go one last thing.
No, I was just saying my personal beef is with tariffs.
Yeah.
My personal beef is with tariffs because I've worked my ass off for the last 10 years. I work in like tech. I'm a software engineer, and I like saved a bunch of money and did, you know, solid investing. And now I'm starting to get ready to buy a nice car, and it's like, God damn it! Now they're all going to be like 20% more expensive.
Well, just buy American, man. Be a patriot. Buy a fucking Ford piece of shit.
Bro, I'll kill myself before I buy an American car. I hate that. Your rant about them like a week ago was spot on. I'd rather buy European.
Yeah, I mean, they're better. People were responding that. They're like, yeah, the only reason why European people buy European cars is because the tariffs on them are lower. No, it's not. They're better cars. Everybody knows that. Japanese and European cars, better cars. It's not up for dispute.
I will gladly pay the maintenance fee on a BMW M than ever buy like a Hellcat.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Exactly. All right, I gotta let you go.
I don't know. People are dumb.
Yeah.
See you later.
Agreed. Later, man. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's go across the pond, lads. We got James from Ireland. James, are you there? James. James, are you there? We're having a connection problem with James from Ireland. James. Oh.
Yes.
There he is.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man?
Cool. I just want to check. Is America, like, good? Because I'm seeing some weird shit on the news. What you guys
good how? I mean, surely you remember early 2000s America. That they weren't good. I mean, they go through ebbs and they go through waves.
I was like 5, so no. You're like trying to invade Canada. You're annexing Greenland.
Hey, I'm Canadian, pal.
You're doing like a... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Would you be mad at like Trump for getting the liberals back into power? Or whatever you call them?
I mean, look, if people like he definitely, if the liberals win, which it is looking likely, although it seems like their lead is dropping, but they still have a pretty handy lead. It will be because of him. And, you know, the last 10 years in Canada under the liberals was really bad. And he's economically and in many other factors, immigration, and he's made people literally forget that because everybody in Canada is just we're at war.
Yeah, it's like if he'd shut up for like 3 months and just not talked about annexing Canada or whatever, like the Conservatives almost definitely win.
But you presume that he wants the Conservatives to win. Like maybe he's like
why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not. This is a, you know, I don't know if he thinks this through in this way, but if he truly does have designs on Canada, which I do think he does. I don't think that was a joke. Although he has not mentioned the 51st state stuff since Mark Carney became prime minister, interim prime minister. But like never in my life living in Canada, 35 years, was there ever an active discussion about Alberta leaving Canada? I'd never heard, other than like some really fringe crackpot shit, like it was never a real discussion. Now it is a real discussion. And if the Liberals win, I expect that to ramp up a bit where they might actually have like a referendum on leaving Canada. And if Alberta leaves Canada, Saskatchewan's going to leave with them. The two of them will very likely leave, maybe not at the same time, but if one happens, I can expect the other to happen, at which point Canada will be way easier target to actually be this whatever 51st state or part of the United States. It's a lot easier to like pick them off when they're a fractured country versus when they're kind of standing together.
I mean,
and maybe he
like, sure,
knows
like,
that.
Does Alberta have the legal right? Like, does it have the right to have a referendum? Like,
absolutely. Quebec had a referendum in 1995, and almost left.
So is that a specific Quebec thing?
No,
or is that
any
just,
province. Now, like basically what happened, it's similar to Brexit, whereas like you can have this referendum, and if the referendum passes, then the province will go negotiate with the country. But there is a mechanism in place. Now they passed a law in 1999. I don't know what it's called in Canada, because essentially what happened with the Quebec referendum is they said that the question of separating was unclear. Like what people were voting for was unclear, and it was in French and English. So it used to be that you had to get to a referendum, you just needed 50%. Now you need a super majority, which would be, I guess, like 60. I think they say it's like 2/3. So I think 2/3 of people need to want a referendum to be called. And at which point, if they have it, then, you know, Alberta can start discussing either becoming its own sovereign nation, joining the United States, but it gets the ball rolling. But there is a mechanism in place, yes, in Canada where it is possible. I don't know the likelihood of any of this, but it's not impossible.
Do you ever consider just swapping for a state? You know, like there's some liberal states or something, and Alberta swaps the U.S. and like
the problem is they would have to be something like maybe Maine or something like Borton. I don't even know if Maine is liberal. I think Maine is pretty liberal. I mean, again, a manifest destiny does not include giving up property. It only includes acquiring it. So I don't think America would be into that, but they would
pretty
happily
Russian of you.
Yeah, they would happily take Alberta. The Americans would love Alberta and Saskatchewan. Love it.
I will say it is funny. This is I think the only time in history where one country is trying to annex another by just negging them.
Kind of. Well, there will be some economic pain. That's
negging
the thing.
Canada.
They're negging Canada, but then they can really economically fuck Canada over to the point. Like I said it before, and like because apparently there's now some talk with Greenland where they're talking about paying every person in Greenland $10,000 a year to join the United States. I don't know if that's in perpetuity or what, but basically there's been a discussion.
No, because I know just a bit more about the Greenland thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's just kind of my interest. One, like Greenland has like a 6% approval rating for the U.S.
I understand that.
Fucking does not want to. But the other thing is, Greenland, like, it's only got 50,000 citizens. They collectively own all of the wealth of Greenland, like all of that mineral shit.
Yeah.
All they need to do to match that money is just sell out, like just rent out that shit or give U.S. companies that platform, and they'd be each getting
tons of money.
All that fucking money. Plus,
So why
Greenland
haven't they?
already gets about 500.
Yeah, they get $500 million from Denmark,
Greenland
right?
Yeah, the thing is, Greenland are basically just the last Native American country, and I don't think the U.S. was really good to the Native Americans.
No.
So I don't really think they
Correct.
want to. I don't think they want to go back, especially with the guys like, we're going to conquer you anyway, and then we're going to kick you off the land.
Okay, what about this? What about if you're
don't really
from
think-
Greenland and they go, we'll give you guys $1 million cash, each of you, to become part of the United States?
I mean, maybe, but Greenland could probably just get that by selling it, and they still get the country.
Sure, but I mean, the thing
like,
is,
they
they
have
haven't done any of that yet. And one, and two, like to start to finance like the capital expenditure to go finance, like, you know, developing what you need to develop to get all those minerals out of the ground and sell them and everything. And that takes a long time. America doesn't have that amount of time. They got to get this deal done ASAP.
But why? Like
well, no, considering what's going on with China and all the trade war stuff, it's like they might be in a war with China, like a real war, not a trade war, you know. And that's
because I've looked into this. Greenland gives the U.S. unlimited rights to build as many military bases as it wants already. Like, is it just like the thing is, any deal between the U.S. and Greenland, the U.S. is just trying to get those minerals for the cheap. So it just makes more sense for Greenland to hold on to it unless the U.S., just kills them all. Which, is an option.
Which is an option. I mean, they said that they wouldn't rule out force to acquire Greenland. I mean, it would be it would turn the world on its head if the United States physically invaded Greenland. I didn't know that about the unlimited military bases, so that kind of does give them what they want. You go, if you're trying to defend yourself, go build the fucking 50 military bases here. And then
Greenland's also, and just to say, Greenland is a part of Denmark technically, which means it's a part of like NATO and the EU. So, like, military invade Greenland probably starts World War III.
Yeah, probably.
Like, the French are putting. Like, the French have nukes, and they will use them. Well, probably not, but
they're not going to use them on the United States.
It's still end of the world.
Yeah. It would be bad news.
100 nukes ends the world. Like, there's a statistic: 100 nukes, just any nukes, will end civilization. 300 nukes just ends life. And Pakistan has 300 nukes.
Really?
So Pakistan at any moment can just end. Yeah, no, Pakistan has enough nukes that if they just detonated every single nuke just in Pakistan, world ends.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nukes kind of win. Like, it's instant world peace.
Sure.
Because if you fuck with the nuke, Pakistan can just end the world. And Europe is getting really into nukes now since the Russia shit came up.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I could really tell you as a European. I'd say within the next 4 years, about 5 nations will have nuclear bombs that didn't have nuclear bombs before. Like, I can almost guarantee that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how the Greenland thing works, but back to the Canada thing, I was just saying that, like, he hasn't made Canada even an offer. Like, I could tell you, I know a lot of people who, if he was like, oh, we'll give everybody in Canada $100,000 to vote to become part of the United States, I personally know a lot of people who would take that deal. Like, it's they wouldn't love it coming from Trump, but they would take it. And that's only $4 trillion.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a crazy sum of money to the United States. Like, it's doable.
Still a fair bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's still a fair bit.
I mean, it is, but it's not to the United States. Their GDP is like $28 trillion. And they print unlimited money. You're like, so just go print $4 trillion. The resources in Canada are worth more than $4 trillion. So it's not even that big of a deal. Like I'm not saying it's nothing, but it can be done. It definitely can be done.
And how's the trade war with China and also the world going, by the way?
Depends who you ask.
The trade war.
If the Trump loyalists say it's fucking to plan at this moment, everything's going perfectly. I feel like we haven't really seen like the fallout. It's still too early to see, how everything's going to be affected. Like today, they're like, oh, NVIDIA. I know people are mad that I say NVIDIA. NVIDIA is creating some chip fabrication plant somewhere in the United States in Phoenix or something. But you're like, this is going to take years for it to be online. So I don't know. I know it sucks if you're like some Amazon reseller of fucking garbage, sell some Chinese garbage.
It's not great for Ireland's like the U.S. The U.S. is Ireland's biggest trading partner because we're like the bridge between the U.S. and Europe.
Well, isn't the deal with Ireland that you guys have these crazy low taxes, and that's why everybody has like their headquarters there because they basically just do it to avoid paying taxes in the United States?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. It's also we're the only English-speaking country left in the EU, and the tax loopholes.
Yeah, and it sounds like Trump doesn't like these tax loopholes. So, I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to make the rich people pay more taxes. I'm pretty confident that the rich people will be fine. Yeah, I mean the rich people are always generally fine.
Like, do you know what Ireland's biggest export is? Like our biggest per capita export?
I mean, don't make me say potatoes, but I'm going to go with potatoes.
It's human blood.
Oh. That's your biggest export?
37% of the world's blood supply comes from Ireland.
Really? Where does the blood come from?
We get it all the blood in Europe kind of gets processed in Ireland. Human blood, it's 50 billion euro in the economy.
You guys have a 50 billion euro blood business?
Well, it's pharmaceutical stuff, but blood is the main bulk export. So it's like, it was one of the things with the tariffs people were trying to avoid. The U.S. may have put a tariff on just blood, and it kind of needs blood to live.
Yeah.
And that was a big,
Crazy.
No, because there's like huge blood shortages, and this is like the blood that goes to hospitals.
Yeah. So if you get a transfusion in America, you're getting Irish blood?
Yeah, probably. At least it's made in. It's like we process it.
You process.
So it's probably a lot of European blood processed in Ireland. Yeah,
interesting.
You trade out whiskey for blood.
I did not know that. That is probably. I doubt anybody knew that. Interesting.
Our economy is tech, pharmaceuticals, and blood.
Crazy. Never would have thought that in a million years.
All dick pills, Viagra. Viagra, Ireland. All that shit.
Yeah.
And blood. So.
Well,
enjoy your blood. If you ever got a blood transfusion, you're welcome.
Yeah, well, I guess they're going to have to not have tariffs on Ireland in case we get into a war and then we need blood transfusions.
Yeah, that's the thing is everyone was like, you're going to put a bunch of tariffs on Ireland. I know that's going to go bad for all the medicine.
Yeah. And
it might work,
Yeah. All right, James.
You might make it work.
Yeah, anything else you want?
No, I think I've taken up too much of your time.
Cool. Thanks, James. Good talking to you, man. Look at that. All the blood in the world. Ireland. Who would have thought? 50 billion a year in blood. Ted K says 5 big booms for the bathhouse. Maybe it could be a Patreon only thing. This and bathhouse are the only thing keeping me in the gym doing cardio after my lifts. I was thinking about doing it. Here's the thing. I actually did, and I said it last week or 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about doing the bathhouse only as a Patreon thing, but then the problem is like the live stream, because it's a call-in show, so then if it's not live stream, then people wouldn't have access to the calls. And I've been thinking about it, and it just didn't seem like that would quite work out, unfortunately. Anton says, MS-13 here are angels compared to Central America because there are consequences here. Dylan Farnham says, deport Slav back to Israel. I like that. I can get on board with deporting Slav back to Israel. Anybody wants to call ICE on Slav. He's not even an American. Oh, I guess he's an American citizen. He wasn't born here, though. Hello, Brent.
Hey, brother.
What's up, man?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, down in South Carolina, I got a fishing story for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so my boy picks me up yesterday. I had stayed up super late. Just wakes me up out of a blur, and he's like, "Let's go hiking. We're gonna find some mushrooms, right?" And he's an expert. So anyway,
finding like mushrooms to get high, or just eating mushrooms?
No, No, just like medicinal, like, morels. We were looking
Sure.
for morels.
I mean, that shit's good eating, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he makes tinctures, him and his wife. Like, he knows what he's doing. I'm just along for the ride.
Sure.
So we go out there, and it's Clemson University owns a lot of property, and so we go out to the woods, and we got 3 dogs, and we're I'm not wearing shoes, like I just don't like it, like I'm part Cherokee, and so we're hiking barefoot. It's 70 degrees, South Carolina. It's so awesome, and walking around with these dogs, everybody's, it's not too many people out there or whatever, but we get up to this creek, and these guys look like they're set up to go fishing, and it's a really small creek, kind of, and we're like, it's just a lot of confusion with the dogs and everything. We come up on these guys, and they're look like they're set up to fish, and we're like, my buddy's like, what are you guys gonna catch, some bass? And like, it was funny already because the guys it's 70 degrees. The guys in chest waders. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No, he's dressed up for like winter time. Anyways, like it ends up being that that they were doing research with small fish. They were catching minnows, but this guy has full-on chest waders, and he has like a 2-foot fishing rod, and we just walking up on him, and I'm barefoot hiking, and like I'm like, we're going across the little place where they're fishing, and it's not deep, like it's just like a 2-foot little stream to walk across.
And he's got all the way up to his chest.
The chest waders, the full blown, like if I have to get deep in the water.
Yeah. And they were what were they fishing for? Just bass with minnows?
No. This is the funny part. They were doing research for small fish, and it was super cool. Like I kind of know about that. Like I did stream ecology when I was in college, and like but they were just studying small fish. But the guy had the chest waders on and this little tiny fishing rod, and we were like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Okay.
Like, but anyway, they were doing cool research, but it just walking up on them, it looked like it's South Carolina, and it looks like
yeah. What are they doing? It sounds like they were city. Sounds like they were city folk.
No, the guy was actually from like Fort Collins, Colorado, visiting the university there to study these little tiny fish in these streams.
Did you guys catch
Super
any?
cool,
Did you guys get any mushrooms? Sounds like you're on mushrooms right now, to be honest.
Nah, dude. The wild pigs had already run through everywhere, and everywhere we went, you could just tell that the pigs had already eaten everything.
Fucking bastards. That's too bad. Well, all right. Anything else you want to add?
No, dude. Good work, my boy.
Thank you, Brent. Good talking to you, man. Brent, everybody. Let's take another call here. Phone lines are open. 1-888-949-2969. Hello, Chris.
Yo, what's up, Danny?
What's happening?
Hey, what's up, man? First of all, let me just say I don't hate the Jews, right?
Okay. That's how I preface every phone call I make too.
Yeah, no, well, usually I want to take a little change in pace, right? Because nowadays a lot of people are like socialists and communists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are just like, eat the rich and like don't simp for billionaires. But you know what? Check it out. How about we kind of do simp for billionaires? You know what I'm saying? How about you take a time to see what Warren Buffett is all about, Take
Yeah.
some
I
time
mean, it
to
is
see
weird
what,
because I know this is unpopular, but I kind of like billionaires. I don't like a billionaire.
Yeah.
I don't like a billionaire that just like inherited $1 billion. That doesn't impress me. But like someone who actually made $1 billion from not like substantially less money than that is quite impressive.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
So I'm not like, I'm not a cannibal, right? So I'm not going to eat the rich, I'd rather pull up at the table where they're eating and eat with them because you could probably learn a thing or two, maybe you could read a book that Dave Ramsey wrote, right? And
Sure.
he could, give you advice, and Donald Trump actually co-wrote a book with Robert Kiyosaki called Why We Want You to Be Rich, right?
I didn't know that.
And you should check it out. And it's like, he talks a lot about like the economies and like trade and stuff like that. So he's like, it's even in the book, and like they're just talking about inflation and all of this stuff, So I've just been on like over the past couple years, I've just been on like a financial literacy journey, right? Learning more and stuff about financial literacy, and you start to learn like, you know what, these people aren't bad, they're providing something, right? You're not unless you inherit it, right? Unless you're like Mackenzie Bezos and you like happen to get a fucking $1 billion, like most people had to like provide something that people needed, right? Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah. I mean, some people do get lucky, like the Mark Cubans of the world. Not that he got lucky with the Mavericks, but he did get ass lucky that he happened to have this fucking basically like bullshit little software thing at the height of the .com. But he also was, smart in that he sold pretty much at the top. So it's a mixture of luck and skill.
You could see he has a different mentality. You see how he has this TDS, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the other billionaires don't really have the same TDS that Mark Cuban has. And it's probably because he didn't have that same, drive that, that Trump has, right? I was just listening to I'm not a good reader, so I listen to a lot of audiobooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to The Art of the Deal. And
I actually just listened to that as well, like literally 2 weeks ago.
Wow, we're on the same wavelength, man.
I just listened to that book.
But like
you don't really learn that much about making deals, to be honest. It's just Trump being like, I'm trying to make this skating rink in Central Park, and this guy's a fucking idiot.
It's funny because he's always been talking about the same thing, like government inefficiency, right? Like the government was in charge of building these ice rinks and they couldn't do it, so he had to take it into the private sector. And
he literally was like, I'll pay for it. He's just like, let me do it. He's like, I'll pay for it myself. And then they didn't want to do it because it would make them look bad.
Yeah. Same thing what's going on today, right? That's the same thing that's going on with Doge. And like, I don't want to say I'm like a he's infallible, like I'm
he's
not
certainly
like
not
hard
infallible.
of a ride or die.
Yeah.
Trump is infallible. Trump is fallible, right?
Absolutely.
He does make mistakes and stuff. But guess what? The same people that said he was going to go to jail were the same people that said that Hillary Clinton was going to beat him, the same people that said that Kamala Harris was going to beat him, the same people that were cheering that he was going to go to jail.
They were referred to as the losers.
Losers. With the fucking track record.
Yeah.
Trump, you can't bet against this guy,
No.
You can't bet against him. And people like they'll root for the cartels, like, oh, Trump fucked up. Now the cartels are mad at him. People will root for China. A lot of people are rooting for China. I don't know if it's the Chinese or if people are just buying the fucking Chinese propaganda.
I mean, people just reflexively do the opposite of Trump. They do
the opposite of Trump, which is crazy. And so like, for the most part, I'll be siding with Trump because you shouldn't bet against him because he's always coming out on top, you know. And
I tend to
same
agree
thing-
with that, but I mean, you know, you got to be fair with him. Don't like. I mean, I see a lot of it.
You gotta
like,
be fair.
Like I can't remember who I saw on Twitter. Someone when the stock market was crashing like 2 weeks ago, and someone was like, "Yeah, it's losing money never cost you anything." You're like, "Shut up."
Yeah, that's bad. But you know what I will
glazing
say
him.
is that a lot of if you're prepared out here with your buckets, you can catch a lot of cash in these fucking volatile times.
There you go.
know? So the same people that are worried and stuff. I have like my brother, right? Is my brother. I don't want to say, but it's my brother. Every time like Trump does something, he comes out here like, oh, the stock market's just like, you know, he's just like celebrating because he hates Trump so much, right?
Right.
He's just like trying to like rub it in my face. The stock market's down, and then
I mean, the stock
like,
market's
to
down
me, I'm
5%.
like,
Although I do think it's gonna go lower, but we'll see.
but you like just keep dollar cost averaging, right?
I mean, if you're a long-term person, like if you're playing the stock market for the long term, which is what you should be doing, essentially, if you're buying, you know, Berkshire Hathaway or the S&P 500, like you're essentially betting against America. If you don't think it's like, if you have a positive view of America as a country, then you should.
America always wins.
Then you should, and it does. And you should be buying the stock market. And over time, you cannot lose. All right, I gotta let you go, man.
Oh, okay, but also buy Bitcoin, y'all.
Buy some Bitcoin. You heard it here. Later, man. Chris, everybody. Yeah, I was kind of kicking myself because when I started talking about that paper and I was looking at put options on the dollar index, the DXY, because the paper literally said they're like, we're going to try and crash the dollar, essentially. It couldn't have been more obvious. And you could have bought like long dated put options for like, literally they were trading for like 2 cents. Some of them are up like 20, 30 times now. And I never bought them because I'm a fucking idiot. We got a super chat from Ted K says, Danny, do you think you will get Tim Dillon, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, or any of the InfoWars guys on? Also, please get Alex Stein back on the show. Alex Stein was on like a month ago. Those other guys, no. They will not come on this show because my views are too low. They would, if for some reason I did get them to consider it, they would look at the views on YouTube. They'd be like, yeah, the show gets like 3,000 or 4,000 views. I'm not doing that. So that's another one of the problems with the show is that I can't really get good guests because good guests won't come on a show that has the views that the show has. So I'm going to work on it. All right, we got Hover Hands up next, and the phone lines are open, 1-888-949-2969. Hover Hands. That's an interesting name. I believe has Hover Hands. Also, you guys want me to do the hang up here. Hello, Hover Hands. Are you there?
Hey, Danny.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, I'm here. I'm here to talk about a little podcast called The Bathhouse.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it.
I think that's a great show, even though...
I agree. I honestly am absolutely perplexed. Do you know that The Bathhouse, I've been doing it for over 2 years, and it just consistently gets 2,000 views an episode? It's never gone up.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I have no idea what's going on either. Like, honestly, if it was going up 50, like, I understand compounding. If you just told me, hey, it goes up 50 views a week, I'd be like, great, I can see how... Or if it goes up views 1% a week, I'd be like, I understand how that'll compound and it'll eventually just be a much bigger show. And I can wait that out. But literally, it just gets 2,000 views a week. I don't know what it is. I was making clips for it, didn't do anything. For like, a year and a half, I was making clips for it, spending all this money on these clips, didn't do anything. And then this show's not doing amazing by any stretch of the imagination. So I figure I shouldn't have two shows that are not doing great. So I should have one show that's doing well, and then I can have a show that's not doing as well. That's fine. But it just the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, just doesn't make sense. Well, but I agree. I love, dude, every comic who does The Bathhouse, they go, this show's awesome. And I go, I know. I don't know why nobody watches it.
Issues with the show, I got to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last time I went on there, I got fucking dogpiled.
Yeah.
I got fucking dogpiled. Everybody bullied me.
That happens.
Nobody hung up on me, so I'll say that.
That's something. That's better than most people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wanted it to just be this show where you can just kind of come sit at the comics table in the green room.
It's a good show. Also, last time I called, somebody said they were Martin Shkreli, and I believed them.
Oh.
Told the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll see. If I get back to 500 if I get to 500 patrons on Low Value Mail, I'll bring it back. But I mean, I was looking at it today, and I think I have 14 new patrons this year. So at that rate, it'll be back, and I'll be dead by the time it comes back, probably.
No.
Yeah, so it's not looking good, but you never know. But I'm gonna focus on this show, and hopefully I can.
Danny, I just thought of something. Maybe it's you.
It might be me. 100%. I 100% do think that, because I'm like retarded, where I'm like, man, I just love call-in shows, and I think call-in shows are such a good format. And I actually said it before, where I go, maybe I'm just like not the guy for it. Maybe there's somebody who will do a better job with the call-in format, who will make a call-in show that like is very successful, and maybe it is not me. I've actually had that exact thought where I go, you know what, it just might be me. It's
maybe
certainly
on the last episode, just don't even come out. Just everybody else is not you.
Maybe. I mean, wouldn't that be something?
Well, what if
hey man, if someone wants the bathhouse, they can have it, I guess.
We'll just have you in the back.
Yeah. I'll just be in the back. I'll just be fucking. I'll just maybe Johnny will host the show, and I'll just run the board.
Wait, which one's Johnny? Is that the gay dude?
Johnny's the producer. Johnny Glover, the Southern Lover. He's the bathhouse producer.
I'm sorry. I'm a Low Value Mail listener.
It's all good. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I like the bathhouse. I like doing it, but it's not working.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. I say I'm going to be listening to the last episode.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call in. How about that?
Yeah. And also, it's really annoying now we can't use the studio. And we can't use the studio, and then the green room, just like last week, they just go last minute. They're like, green room's not available. It's a real pain in the ass, whole thing. And I can't do it at the Boys Cast studio where I do this show. It's not set up for it, so it's just, I don't know. I'll figure it out maybe one day or not. Who knows? All right,
we'll be back, Danny.
All right,
you got it.
All right, thanks, buddy. Appreciate the show support.
All right, see ya.
Hover hands, everybody. Let's hover hands. No, Johnny's still alive. Someone said rip Johnny. Johnny's still the producer of the Boys Cast. Johnny's good. That's the thing too. I want to barely pay him anything because there's no money in it. And I would like to give him more money. And the bathhouse is great. I know. Just nobody watches it. Hello, Dominic or Zach?
Hello.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Dominic.
What is happening?
Oh, nothing. So Danny, I've been thinking, I've been watching Asmongold a lot recently. I've got a theory about his success. Do you want to know it?
Yeah, let's hear it. I know who he is. I've never seen one of his streams though, but I do know I know his name.
I think the reason Asmongold works is because I don't think it's because he's like smart or anything. I think it's just because he's constantly out there. That dude is streaming like 6 hours a day.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to stream 6 hours a day.
I know, but I used to listen to Coast to Coast a lot. You like that show, right?
Of course, that's the Coast to Coast is what this is based off of.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, Danny, I used to listen to a ton of AM talk radio, so this is my bag, dude.
Okay,
and
let's hear it.
I really think the most essential part of a lot of these talk radio shows is that the majority of the formats was either 2 or 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, I can't do
all
that.
the big names, but I wish you could though, Danny, because
I'm trying to get.
I think you're.
Yeah, I've been trying to get actually, because I got offered to do this radio show. I actually got offered a radio show in New York, And but the problem was it was from 12 to 5 a.m. every day.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I can't do that and do stand-up. That's just like not really possible. I just basically have to quit stand-up, which I don't want to do. So I can't do that. I'm trying to get them to give me like a Sunday night show, but I can't do a show 5 days a week at night because I could do it. I theoretically, I guess, could do it during the day, but then most of you wouldn't be able to watch it live because for whatever reason. But I can't do it at night because I'm like, then I can't do stand-up. Like unfortunately the two things conflict, which is why this show's on a Monday. Like, it's why the Bathhouse and this are on Monday and Tuesday because those are just the worst nights for stand up. And if I go on the road, for example, even though there's no episode of Low Value Mail next week because I'll be in Vancouver, but it just doesn't work with stand up. You kind of have to choose one or the other unless you do like a daytime show, which I would, but yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, Danny, I think you're actually funnier than Ryan. You know, he's just the good-looking one.
I'm the good-looking one. What do you mean? It's crazy talk. It's absolutely crazy. I lost 10 pounds.
Yeah, I do think you've got. I do think you've got the the personality for this because you're kind of dispassionate and you're capable of listening to people. That's like you're perfect for this. I think you just need to find a way to do it more.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. I can't really. I know that probably I would be better off if I did this 5 nights a week, but I can't do it 5 nights a week, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, there's another thing too. Is like maybe if you're inconsistently doing it, like it doesn't have to be every night. Like, what if it's just like you do it when you can, and it's like. And just at a certain period in the day, because that's one of the things that gets people is like I forget that you do this on
everybody
Monday,
does.
You know,
I know that everybody does, and that's another problem is if I just pick random days to do this, people would be like, I didn't even know it was happening, and I could tell them, I could say on the show, I'm doing a show on Thursday night, and people would still forget. It's just the nature of the beast, right? Like I could be like, hey, I'm doing the show on Thursday night, and people would be like, Friday, the show would come out, the replay, and they'd be like, there was a show last night? I'm like, you listened to me say it. And they go, people have lives and stuff, you know? They got to be like, I don't know. People have kids and jobs, and they forget, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, it might suck, but like I feel like the potential for making it though, like is exponential. You just got to get over the first curve, you know? And so
I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years.
I just hope you stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
And sometimes it takes forever. Like there's so many people who are legends, and it took them forever. You know,
I understand that. I'm not like against putting the time in, but that's not my issue at all. It's just the Bathhouse specifically is just like I need to focus more on this show because, like I said, I can't have 2 shows not doing well. That just doesn't make sense. But I understand.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Don't you have to like go somewhere like out of your home to do the Bathhouse too?
Both of them. Neither of them are in my home.
Yeah.
The Bathhouse is at the stand.
Oh, you can't do this at your house?
No, because the soundproofing in my apartment. Plus, it wouldn't look good. Like I have like a little spare room, but it just like wouldn't look good and doesn't have the right lighting and equipment and stuff.
I really miss that picture you used to have as your background.
Which one was that? Oh yeah.
Like
the shitty apartment. Yeah, you know what? Maybe everything went downhill when I got rid of that. Although the views are actually up since I changed the format, but not much. Not much. But my goal is to just stick with this one and see how it goes.
Well, keep at it, Danny. And I don't hate the Jews.
Thank you.
Just thought you'd want to
hear that. I mean, sometimes I do. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I walk through Williamsburg and I go, man, these Jews really chap my ass. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll dip out and
cool.
Thanks for the show as always.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dominic. Dominic, everybody. Oh, we got international comedy superstar Matt Rife on the phone. This is exciting. Matt, how's it going, man?
Well, hello, Danny. Thank you for that introduction.
This is the other Matt Rife, everybody.
Matt Rife.
Hey, what's up with the Rife Machine? I see you tweet about this.
You know, I don't know. I'm a comedian, man. No, yeah, dude, it's so funny. I'll tell you about the Rife Machine, but it's hilarious when people think that I'm Matt Rife, the comedian, because I'm all like, yeah, you want to come to one of my shows? I'll get you background tickets. I might even let you open.
Sure.
I've had 2 people show up. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they go, what the hell?
Yes.
So Matt Rife of Rife,
You know who it was?
Rife Technologies.
Yep.
That's the name of the company.
So,
how are you feeling, by the way? I saw you got in a car accident.
Oh, dude. You know, the car accident didn't hurt me. I sleepwalk, and I woke up staring up at the ceiling, and I was off balance already because I was standing on my couch.
What?
And I fell, and I broke 4 ribs. Yeah.
Oof.
So
4?
Right now, I have 4 broken ribs, a broken wrist, and I have a front passenger tire, like the whole knuckle, everything, caliper and everything just ripped right off of the vehicle.
Oh, god damn. That sucks,
dude. It was
dude.
rough, but I came out unscathed.
There you go.
You know, I think it was that Jew power. Jews love me, so God bless.
Jews love you. Jews love Matt Rife, notoriously. So what is this? So you sell this product called because I've actually been curious just because I see you tweet about it. You sell this product. It's called the Rife Machine. What does it do exactly? And how did you come up with it?
Oh man, you are gonna have me on one day because there's a longer story to this.
Okay,
but I will give you the short.
Yeah, well, I'll bring you on.
So we're like us as humans, we're carbon-based electrical beings, right?
Yeah.
Like we have what's called an electrical synapse that goes through our body. Well, a Rife machine works off of EMS, electromagnetic frequencies. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard, oh, those are bad. They'll give you cancer. Well, they will. There's certain ones that'll give you cancer, and that's because they're very high frequency.
I think I have one of these for my dog, actually. My dog had surgery.
You probably have
the
you have an
Assisi loop.
electromuscular stimulator or a TENS unit.
Yeah, I think the other one. It's called an Assisi loop, and it's like this closed loop little electrical thing, and you just put it on his hip. I don't know if it does anything, but it was recommended by everybody. They said it works wonders.
Yeah, it probably does. And so that's more of a microcurrent that flows through your body.
Okay.
And mine deals with EMS, electromagnetic fields. They travel like sound waves. And, you know, you've heard of like light therapy and things where the photons enter the body, help vibrate. But what I'm doing is, and I can't really make claims. So everybody, these are not claims. FDA.
These are not claims. The FDA does not approve of these claims.
Yeah.
Of these not claims.
Yes. It's not FDA approved.
Okay.
But my great uncle did this, man. He invented this in the 1920s, and the Rockefellers shut him down. They sponsored 3 people to do clinical trials, and this is it was for cancer and tuberculosis. My great uncle, he made this machine called the Rife Machine. He didn't call it the Rife Machine. Other people called it the Rife Machine. But essentially what it does is it has resonant frequencies with your body, and it'll attach to different nerves, and it sends an electrical synapse. So now your brain and your body is able to communicate. You know, that lane that was all backed up and wrecks on it, and you couldn't send the electrical activity because there's a resistance. Now you're actually getting electrical activity through.
And is this like a mat you lay on?
No, you sit around it.
Oh, okay. You just sit near it?
Yeah, you know, actually, that's one of the reasons I was calling, because I'm getting ready. When the next time I go back up to New York City, I'm going to be doing a presentation up there. I have one of my employees calling chiropractors and many other people, and I'm going to invite everybody to one of my presentations that I do. And dude, I'd love to hire you to come up there and, you know, do a set for everybody, get them warmed
Sure.
up.
I want to take a spin on the Rife Machine.
Yeah. I'll walk you all the way through it. I can send you a link to the documentary they made about me.
Okay. Yeah, send it over.
And it's really good. And I don't know how to say this. Like I'm abiding by the law. 100%.
That's what we like to hear on Low Valley Mail.
Yeah, it's taken clientele away from big pharma. So of course, dude, I'm in lawsuits all the time.
Right.
But you know what? It's worth it. Maybe one day I'll
so
I don't know.
who's the target market for this? Like, what kind of ailments?
Everything.
Everything.
We have 10,000 different elements on the app. You can download the app. It's called Rife app.
Rife app.
And
And
it's
this
got,
cures
like, a
10,000 different things?
Yeah. So let's take. I cannot say cure. By the
Cure.
way. I cannot
Yes.
say cure. This is a therapeutic use for this.
Sure.
I don't make any claims of cure, but let's talk about dementia, right? So
Yep.
what happens with dementia is you have what's called beta amyloids. These are misfolded proteins that are messing with the prefrontal cortex in the brain.
Okay.
So you can't have electrical activity going through there. The prefrontal cortex is the logic and decision part making of the brain. And so that's the reason people, they don't act right. They don't make decisions like they used to. They make decisions like a 16-year-old. Or people that do drugs, it stunts the growth of the PFC. So that's the reason they're stuck in that mode of a non-mature PFC, so they don't make decisions like an adult. So if you take electrical synapse and you blow right through those beta amyloids, or it creates a new neural pathway. This is called neuro-linguistic programming. So it creates a new pathway in the brain for it to be able to communicate. Well, now you don't have to worry about the beta amyloids, right? Because now you've created like a new superhighway for the electrical activity to go through, and now your memory's working better. Now it's stimulated. In the other parts of the body, your mitochondria. Your mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cells. This is what will help your body repair. You know about the mitochondria, right?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, well, they spit out this liquid energy, essentially, and this is how your body repairs itself. Well, a lot of people have mitochondria fatigue, and that's the reason they don't heal up. Okay, but then there's negative ionization. Now, the negative ions is what mitochondria that they feed off of. So I kind of reverse the clock on people by exciting the mitochondria. It does some water structuring, which we can get into on a show.
Sure.
But, the negative ionization, now you're negatively ionizing your body. Well, when you're born as a baby, you have nothing but negative ions.
Yeah, I
And
always say
whenever you're a
babies are
child,
such negative people.
Yeah.
Just crying all the time.
Well, as you get older, like you start to lose these negative ions, then you get positive ions. This is the reason children have way more energy and they heal a lot faster. And I'm sure you've noticed this.
Yeah, so this helps you with healing?
I'm taking people back to having
So,
negative ions. in
how's
their
it
body.
working with your 4 broken ribs and your broken wrist? And do you
Oh, it's doing
regularly?
amazing.
Yeah, it's helping.
Dude, I went out riding my bike today, my motorcycle.
No way.
All
All right, we're
I'm
gonna.
doing
I got a ton of callers on the line, so I got to get to them. But we'll have you on at
Okay.
some point, and we'll chat about this because this is pretty
Yeah.
fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I'll hit you up in the.
What's your
and I'll
website
send you
for
that.
people who want to check it out?
It is Real Rife Technology. You can look it up. You can find me on Twitter at Rife Technology, and my pinned tweet is the documentary if anybody's interested.
Cool. Check it out, everybody. Matt Rife, everybody. Thanks, man. All right. Matt Rife, everybody. Interesting stuff. Slav, what's up, man? Phone lines are closed,
Hey,
everybody.
what's going on?
What's up?
Yeah, I hope I'm not the last guy.
No, you're not. No. You're not the last one.
Yeah. I'm fine with deporting you. I don't know if you saw the chat. I'm just deport everybody, bro.
You want them all
Deport
out.
everybody in the chat. Everybody listening, anybody calling, you. Johnny can stay. Blah blah blah.
Johnny's a patriot. Johnny's got patriot blood in him. Can't deport Johnny.
Yeah, well, he's got to act on it. Well, he's got to act on it. Yeah, he needs to go back and retake Fort Sumter.
Okay, I'll pass that on to him.
Yeah. What is it? I called in. You guys are talking about autism.
Mm-hmm.
How far back it went.
Yeah.
I've been trying to look for it the whole show, but there was an account like in ancient Greece where you know how there's that dude on like Instagram who like that English autist guy who's like super pumped up on trains.
No, is he the guy from that Love on the Spectrum show?
No. It's like this guy in England. He's got like blonde hair, but he's like goes to like all these train crossings and he sees all these like he gets like super.
He just
hyped.
loves. He's just an
camera.
autistic guy that loves trains.
Yeah, but he's a famous one. So back in ancient Greece, there was a guy who was like he never wrote anything down, but everyone who lived around him wrote this down. He's like he had nothing to do with shipping, and he lived on like a port city, and he would always write down, "Oh, this ship is leaving," and every time that ship came back, he would get like super pumped up and cheer and like bang drums and shit.
Yeah, he was like the original autistic guy.
Yeah.
So it's been around. But I wasn't talking about. I feel like when we talk about autistic guys, we're not like the RFK. We want, like I said, we want to know about the helmets banging their heads against the walls. We don't care about people who are into trains.
Oh, they're just retarded. Yeah, they're just retarded. They should have been thrown down a well. Yeah.
Tell us how you really
that's
feel.
What
Slav.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, deport them. Deport. I mean, hey, there's a big giant graffiti sign in North Austin that says autism is a superpower.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50.
I mean,
Rain
Man had some pretty cool powers.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure Hitler had some autists in his ranks.
I've heard.
What is it? Do you want to eat your words about calling both of your shows the most popular call-in shows? Because you said that on that Jew Grifter, Tim Pool. I mean, any show you go on to.
I mean, what other call-in shows are there? I didn't say they're popular. I just said they're the most popular. I don't know of any others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you're eating your fucking words.
Do you want some Russian bots, bro? Because
no.
Apparently, bro, I can get you 500 Russian bots.
And what would that do?
The war is over. Keep the show going, like you said.
It doesn't do anything. I don't need fake YouTube views. That doesn't help me in any way.
No. I
need real people.
Bots that subscribe to Patreon. And they'll pay in rubles instead of dollars, so it's much.
I mean, that seems like a bad. Well, unless you figured out an infinite money glitch where you pay them less money than they pay to Patreon,
it's
and then
like one US dollar is like 60 rubles. So, it's.
I mean, again, if I pay them $1 US and I get back less than $1 US, then what is the point of it? Surely I'm not going to get back more than $1 US. Otherwise, you figured out some sort of literal infinite money glitch, at which point I'll take 10 million of them.
So you do want Russian bots? Like, bro.
No, I don't.
I literally tell. It seems like you just don't want to keep the show going, bro.
No, I do want to keep the show going. I want to keep both of these shows going, but I have to. It's a Sophie's Choice situation.
So, yes, for the bot. Like, I'm literally looking at the website right now. I can literally type in "da." So yes.
Da. But again, like I said, Slav, they're obviously charging you more than you would get, because what kind of business is that? So then it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, they ain't charging me. It's okay, bro. They got Jews of their own. They'll figure it out.
Good quote. They've got their own Jews to figure this out. Don't get caught up in the weeds here.
Bro, they have so many dead people in Russia and Ukraine that they don't report as dead.
Yeah.
They keep keeping them alive to collect pensions and whatever other form of Social Security payments.
Yeah.
We can do the Doug Stanhope of remember how his mother committed suicide?
Yeah.
And they used her credit card for Sky Mall magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just do that for you, bro.
You just want to do credit card fraud?
I mean, is it really fraud if it's from
it's absolutely
the
fraud.
other side of the world?
It is definitely fraud. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, hey, you're just gonna let a bunch of people down, cancel the show.
I mean, if,
seems like you just kind of. I mean, you're almost like a Lucky Larry Silverstein over here. You know,
Lucky Larry
pumping up the show.
I mean, I would definitely not consider myself lucky.
And, I mean, I'm just
look, if once I hit 500 patrons, I'll bring the show back.
How many patrons are you at right now?
320 something.
And you're gonna pull it now that early, man. That's not the American.
That
spirit,
early?
man.
I'm on pace to hit this in like 4 years.
Yeah, you see, this is not the American spirit that we want to see in, future Americans. It's very un-American of you to quit so early. I mean,
I've been doing it for over 2.5 years. I mean, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. This is part of the thing that informs my decision making. Is generally podcasts that do well, they don't take that long. Like generally podcasts that actually do well, kind of like once you get to the 3-year mark and your podcast is not doing well, it's probably not going to do well. That's kind of understood in people who do podcasts. So I'm not being too doomer about it, but I'm just like, again, I have 2 call-in shows. I just want to at least make one of them good.
Have you tried inviting more women on?
No.
I heard that's like a good.
That's your fucking advice? Is get more women?
Are you going to deny that it draws attention?
I mean, sometimes it does. I don't know. I have women on. I mean, I have women. I don't have a no women policy.
Yeah. I mean, even though the engagement is negative, you do get more engagement, whether it's negative or not.
I mean, I'll tell you this, actually. I've had episodes with multiple female guests, still the same views, still the same downloads. It's all the same.
Yeah, well, yeah, just keep letting everyone down. I mean, hey, it's really cool. You're doing this rug pull. I don't know how's
rug
Bear
pull?
doing. I never.
Jewbear, it's
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't looked in a while, but my guess is it's worth nothing. Like I said, it would be.
Yeah, shout out to the guy who made $2,000 off of it.
Yeah, someone made something, and I'll tell you, someone made some money. I was not one of those people. I have not sold. I gave a bunch of Jewbear away, but I haven't ever sold any. All right, Slav, thanks, man. I got to get to some more calls.
You can join the graveyard. You can join the graveyard with Gas Digital, Real Ass Podcast, Louis J.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I already have a successful podcast. I have a successful podcast, but I just don't need 2 unsuccessful call-in shows. That's my point.
Oh,
anyways, Slav.
That's
everybody.
weird that.
All right, had enough of that. Let's go up to Canada.
Hey, Danny, how are you doing?
What's happening, format?
Chilling. I actually, you know what? I had this topic prepared. I've been meaning to ask you for a couple of weeks now, and I just just called in. I haven't even heard the rest of the show. I just got back, and this is on point. So, have you ever heard of this Kill Tony show?
I have heard of this Kill Tony show. Are you going to do the thing that like my mom does? And she's like, you ever heard of Saturday Night Live? You should go on there.
No, not that you should go on there, but do you know what time it runs on?
I know that this goes at the same. I know that I go up against Kill Tony. I go up against so many fucking podcasts. I get that. There's no solution to it because I can't move it later in the week because then I can't do stand up. And I could not deal with changing the day of the show for a fucking 5th time. But yes, I do know that. I do know that it works against me that I go up against Kill Tony, even though it's not even fucking live. That you can actually just watch later. There's no difference.
Yeah, but like, you know, like when it comes out live, like, am I supposed to tell Margo like, yo, you wanna watch Kill Tony right now, or you wanna go listen to?
I get it. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. And fucking and Skanks comes out on Tuesday night. I get it. I know, but those are the nights I have available.
Any time that's not Monday 9 p.m. I think is like a significantly better time.
I know, but it's like a 2-hour show. I'm not going to do it. If I did it at 6 p.m., then all these people would be like, I can't watch it. And And I don't want to do it much, and I don't want to do it much later. Trust me, I have thought about that many times where I'm like, I know that I'm literally up against Kill Tony. And if this was a TV show, like, and not only am I up against Kill Tony, but when football's on, I'm up against fucking Monday Night Football. Yeah, I'm stupid, guys. I don't.
And stuff. So what's happening? Because I missed like most of the show. You're thinking about dropping Low Value Mail?
No, the Bathhouse. No, Low Value Mail. I'm doing.
Bathhouse. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, I thought Bathhouse was doing better, but
no,
all right.
Bathhouse is doing garbage.
Okay. Yeah, I had a little bit of a comment about autism, but before I get to that,
I mean, yeah, it sounds like you got a taste of it.
Before I get to that, how's your fed wife? Did you ever tell her that I didn't call her
Yes,
fat?
I did. I did tell my fed wife. I go, she listened, she heard you, and she goes, she's cool. She was like,
okay.
And then literally I had to explain to her what a fed was.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad. Yeah. Now, with autism, I just recently realized
Got diagnosed?
Autism, for the most part, say what?
What?
No, I don't know.
Anyways, go ahead.
For the most part, they detect autism pretty early in kids. I think it's I googled it. It's before the age of 3, right? And so there's something that happens between birth and the age of 3 because it's not a hereditary disease, right?
Is it vaccines?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not hereditary. You don't get it genetically, so it's not happening from the parents. So what else is happening? Something between inception and 3 years old fucks up a kid and makes them all retarded. And
yeah.
What else could it be?
Is it possible that it just can't be detected? Like you don't notice in a 2-year-old that they have these fixations because they're still developing.
Fuck, I didn't even know that much. I just noticed that this.
I mean, I understand the vaccine argument. I understand the vaccine argument. I mean, here's the thing. This would be such an easy thing to figure out because there's enough people who don't get their kids vaccinated where you could just go get a sample of all the people who don't vaccinate their kids and just be like, all right. Do they have autism? Yeah. Is it 0? If it was 0, you just be like, well, then there's your fucking answer.
Actually, it's kind of been done. So the Amish have fucking 0 autistic kids, and they don't take vaccines.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Although
it's pretty much
I mean, the Amish are so weird, though. Make this point. But the Amish are so kind of weird that it would be hard. All they do is fucking build furniture all day in barns. Seems like that's pretty autistic shit to do.
You wouldn't even know if they're autistic.
That's what I'm saying. They might be autistic, and you just go, maybe they're all autistic.
Yeah. All right. Oh, last thing before I go. So I lost my phone, so I lost my old account, and with that I lost my wrench.
Everybody lost their wrench.
Get a wrench on my new account?
No, everybody lost their wrench. I got rid of the wrench.
Nobody got a wrench. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wrenches.
Oh, okay. Sad.
Wrenches are gone.
All right. Well, I'll make space for some other callers. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad you let your wife know that I didn't call her fat.
Appreciate it. Later, format. Didn't call her fat. All right. Let's go to Jared, everybody. He's been waiting patiently.
Hey,
Jared,
buddy.
What's up, man?
Another beautiful day. It's not yet 115.
Oh, sounds nice. It's actually not too bad here today, but not 115.
No, it's the hottest. I think it was 90 today.
Yeah.
So
what's
I
up,
was doing
Jared?
my taxes. So
getting your taxes done. Send all your hard-earned money over to Israel.
Damn Jews. Good times. I was thinking, just some of the conversations. We're not going to get into autism, and I think Bathhouse is the greatest. It's a looser show than this. You can call in and shoot the shit with the boys.
Yeah.
This show is more. You come with something that you can discuss with the guest, or maybe
a little more intellectual.
Correct. So I think both shows are great, and I don't know if there's a way so the money goes to you directly instead of Patreon. And we could still do something. You know what I mean?
No, I can't have like fucking 10 different things. It's just got to be Patreon.
I got you.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I don't know how much money they take off the top.
They don't actually take that much. Patreon's actually way better than YouTube. YouTube takes like 30%.
30%.
Patreon takes like
Right.
10%. That's why I would just prefer people sign up for Patreon.
I still like.
But anyways, I'm
on
actually very confident that the bathhouse will return because I have confidence. We'll see. But
I agree.
You know,
So what I'm
people
gonna do is
everybody's different. I know some people don't like the bathhouse at all. I mean, obviously, less people like the bathhouse than this show because it just does worse. Based on the analytics, it does much worse. So.
Well, I just wanted to start with a fun quote.
Yeah.
Most Jews do not like to admit it, but our God is Lucifer, and we are His chosen people.
Okay.
This is Harold Wallace Rosenthal.
Okay.
Sorry if that hurts the algorithm.
That's fine.
With that said, I wanted to touch back on just the end of Angleton and the transition of JFK getting assassinated, going into Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay.
And Lyndon B. Johnson's affinity for Israel, and then that's going to segue into something called.
Lyndon B. Johnson wasn't Jewish, right?
Well, he was Jewish, yeah. I'm gonna get to that.
That's so weird because I do this joke about that there's no Jewish president, and all these people were like, Lyndon B. Johnson was Jewish. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I got you. I got all the data, and then we're going to talk mishpacha or mishpache or
family,
depending on how you pronounce it.
Isn't that just
family? Yes, exactly. We're going to discuss family, and we're going to discuss Nayib Bukele, the gentleman from.
It says here
Salvador.
Lyndon B. Johnson's is a Baptist.
Well, I got all the data. So I have the Jewish press and I have the State of the Nation. So I have the Nazi version and I have the Jewish version.
Oh, okay. Well, the Nazi version definitely sounds trustworthy.
Well, no, you'll find that actually the Jewish press says some fun stuff that really enthuses and gushes over his enthusiasm for.
It says he was a member of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. Although it says his early religious upbringing, including exposure to Christadelphian doctrines.
This gets into mishpacha and family and what it is to be a Jew. And this talks about conversos and the previous conversations we had about the Jesuits and the Early Society of Jesus being there. So this is something I like. It's not necessarily the one drop rule, but it was either grandmother or great grandmother were both Jewish on his maternal bloodline. So both.
So yes,
women.
One drop rule.
Yeah, and according to Talmud, I believe you just have to be 1/16. Okay, so
I mean, not even Leather Apron Club does 1/16.
Well, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like 1/16, like if you show fealty and you're willing to put your head against that wall and throw on the kippah,
that's all
this
of
gets
them,
into we'll talk about these people and their blood relations and what it is to be a member of Freemasonry. And we
only have like 5 minutes, so you're gonna have to pick a topic.
I got you. So,
yeah.
So no, and I'm gonna start with, and I have a nice clear path to pull this into. So I wanted to start with the Jewish press. So the Jewish press wrote an article called LBJ. An unheralded Holocaust hero.
Okay.
So this goes back to
this is the Jewish Post.
Jewish press.
Oh, the Jewish press. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So
I have this in front of me.
His grandfather and his father were actually big supporters of Israel. They married Jewish women, at least his grandfather did.
But isn't that like a lot of like evangelicals and stuff? I don't know if he was an evangelical, but isn't that very common?
Well, in Southern Baptists, you could find staunch evangelical beliefs, but this gets into the idea that his wife was Jewish, and his father's wife was Jewish. And if you look into
You mean his mother?
LBJ's father and grandfather, LBJ's mother's name was Rebecca. His, if I'm mistaken, LBJ's grandfather married a Jewish woman. I'm going to get into their names shortly, and I'm going to be using the Jewish press's explanation, not the State of the Union. I can give theirs too. But the idea is I like to try and use Jewish sources for certain data just because it's just better to use their references.
Yeah.
So the idea is that LBJ's father and grandfather actually backed and were staunch supporters of Leo Frank. That's just one little tidbit. His aunt, Jesse Johnson Hatcher.
I mean, the man was
an
innocent.
active member.
Why wouldn't you support him?
Exactly. Was an active member of the Zionist Organization of America. So his aunt was really important in his life. And then historians, certain people, Snopes says it's not true, good old Snopes, that his maternal great-grandfather, Huffman, and Jewish name, and they immigrated from a Jewish region.
Could be German.
In Germany. And the other name was Perrin, which some people say is French Huguenot, but there's no technical public record of them being Jewish.
So if there's no public record, is the default that he is then in fact Jewish?
Well, it's somewhat like akin to like Zabbatai Zevi or Ignacio Loyola. These are individuals that converted to Christianity at a certain time. They were outwardly and openly Christian, but what they were doing is they were working on behalf of Israel at their core. And that's what I like to.
I mean, it doesn't make him Jewish, though.
No, it doesn't. But his alliances and his allegiances, whether it's through Freemasonry or his Jewish maternal lineage,
Well, it says here that his mother, Rebecca Baines, her great-grandfather was Baptist clergyman George Washington Baines, which does not seem Jewish to me.
So from the data that I have here, let me just, I'll pull it up real quick.
Okay,
and I'll give
3 minutes.
100%. So Lyndon Johnson's maternal ancestors, the Huffman, migrated from Frederick, Maryland, from Germany in the mid-18th century. They moved to Bourbon, Kentucky. We know, as according to Jewish law, if you have mothers on the Jewish side, you can be Jewish according to their rules. Both Lyndon Johnson's great-grandparents on the maternal side were Jewish. Those grandparents of Lyndon's mother, Rebecca Gaines, their names were John S. Huffman, Mary Elizabeth Perrin. John Huffman's mother was Suzette Ament, a common Jewish name, and then Perrin is also a common Jewish name.
I mean, I've known many Perrins, none of them were Jewish.
And that may be the case. And maybe this is purely speculation, but what this tied into was Lyndon B. Johnson quadrupled Israel's budget. He smuggled Israelis into the United States from Warsaw when he was a congressman in the time during and leading up to World War II. He gave Israel tanks and aircrafts after the French cut off their arms supply in the post 6-Day War period. And it just seems that these things indicate an allegiance to Israel, and this gets into mishpachah.
Well, but every president has an allegiance to Israel. There hasn't been one without it.
And that gets into don't have the time today to discuss bloodlines and the fact that all these people are related in one shape or form, whether it be through the Jesuits, Freemasonry, or Jewish organizations. But
why don't you start like a faceless like Rumble channel or something? Because I assume you wouldn't want your face on it, but I feel like these are like 3-hour videos that you need to be doing here.
I know they are quite extensive, and the data does jump around a bit in the sense that to cover certain things, you need to go down certain channels.
Yeah.
To be prefaced, and I appreciate the time. And what it was going to go into was Nayib Bukele, who was
Is he also Jewish?
Salvador. So he's actually a Palestinian Arab, but he worked and was a guerrilla in the FMLN in the late 70s and early 80s, which was an extreme left-wing communist organization, Communism, Judaism.
Bukele was a guerrilla in the 70s? Isn't he like 40?
Yeah. Maybe his father, I beg your pardon.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm like, that doesn't... Seems too
Yeah,
old for that.
maybe I misread that in the way I remembered it. I haven't written any of this down. I'm trying to do my best to just spit
All good.
this off.
I gotta let you go though. I gotta let you go because this will never end. But call into the bathhouse next week and we'll get into it. Jared, everybody.
Will do. Always a pleasure, Danny.
Jared, everybody. All right, let's take a few more calls and then we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. That should put me to sleep, man. Let's go to Canada here. Let's go all the way up to the Great White North. We got Harry on the line. Harry, are you there?
I am here.
What's happening, Harry?
I just finished eating a cheese dream.
Finished what now?
Eating a cheese dream.
Eating a cheese dream. Ryan Long's favorite food, the cheese dream.
Yeah, I think it's an Ottawa thing, man.
I can barely understand you. I don't know if you're. It's hard to hear you. It sounds very muffled.
I think I'm a little bit too far Great White North.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better.
I think it's an Ottawa thing, man. The cheese dream, like the when I was a kid, that's what everyone called toasted cheese sandwiches. This is cheese dreams.
Cheese dreams. Oh, okay. So we're learning the etymology of the cheese dream. It's an Ottawa thing, apparently.
But
do you have it with hot dogs on it? Do you have the wieners?
Usually ham. Usually just some Black Forest ham, sort of chopped up.
Some ham. Okay, sounds kosher. Yeah. So what's up, Harry?
I'm moving to the United States in a couple months.
You're moving to the United States. Congratulations. Where are you moving?
Utah.
Utah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Why are you doing that?
I lost my job in Toronto and was kind of looking for something a bit different, and Utah was calling. But I just I'm going through all the visa stuff. It's a gigantic pain, even though like lawyers are doing most of it. It's, the paperwork is brutal.
Tons of shit.
Is there, I'm sure you get asked this a lot from your buddies, like, is there anything you wish you knew before you moved to the States?
No.
That you were told? Or?
No, it's basically exactly the same as Canada. Other than you have to figure out the whole health insurance thing. I don't know the degree to which you require health care. That is very different in the sense that like you got to find insurance and then you get your insurance. Then you're like, okay, I want to go here. And they're like, no, you can't go there. You got to go to this place. We don't cover that place. It's a total scam. Right. Besides that, though, it's also your credit doesn't transfer over. So I would recommend, are you with TD by chance?
No.
So TD is like the biggest bank in the United States. And it's also the biggest bank or one of the biggest banks in Canada. I don't know if it's the biggest bank in Canada, but it's very convenient if you have a TD account and get a TD credit card because basically they can use your Canadian credit to get a credit card in the United States. If you don't have one, like Ryan was with like Scotiabank. And so when he got a credit card here, like the only thing they would give him is a secured credit card because you come here, your credit history doesn't transfer over. So when you start here, you're like, you've never existed. You could have immaculate credit in Canada. It doesn't matter. But TD has some essentially like, it's not a loophole, but they just have something where because they're also an American bank, if you have a TD credit card in Canada and an account, then it essentially transfers over and you can just get a U.S. credit card.
Well, that's pretty good advice. I should probably hop on that and see if you guys can take care of that.
Yeah, I would just go open it. I don't even know if you need to have an account necessarily with TD. You could just have a credit card with them. But you should just go ask them that. Like, just go there and be like, hey, I want to move there. But yeah, the credit card was a pain in the ass. And make sure, because when I opened the credit card, for whatever reason, they weren't reporting my credit to like FICO here or whatever. So then I can't remember what I tried to do. I needed a credit check for a place I was moving to. And then I went and looked at my FICO score and it just didn't have one. And it was the first time I had checked in like after living here for literally years. And then I called them and they're like, oh, we haven't been reporting your credit history. So then that took like 2 months for them to report on my credit history. So other than that, pretty seamless.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you very much.
All right. Sounds good. Harry, everybody. Let's take 2 more calls and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Don't forget, no episode of Low Value Mail next week. I'll be in Vancouver. If you live in the Vancouver area, come out. House of Comedy. Tickets at DannyComedy.com. Hello, Charlie from Florida.
Hey, Danny. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Sorry to hear about the bathhouse thing.
The bathhouse will rise again.
Like that show, man.
I like doing it too, but nobody
will.
Nobody listens to it for some reason. I don't know why.
Very strange because I think it's a really funny, entertaining show.
I know. Me too. Nothing like it.
A few times there. I called in several times actually. I really like. Just the format is very unique and it's very
much to my consternation, Charlie. I think it's some sort of global Gentile conspiracy to keep me down.
Do you think that does people just like a lot of dumb shit now?
I do think that. Yes, that is part of it. People definitely.
I think that could be part of it. I mean,
yeah. I honestly don't know what it is. I know that it doesn't help that this show goes up against Kill Tony and that show goes up against Legion of Skanks. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, I changed the time of the bathhouse to be earlier because I wanted the show to be longer, and I don't know. I just can't win. It's fine. It's fine. Just it is what it is. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I don't know. Maybe have some karaoke one night on it or something.
I will not be doing that. I mean, even when I have big guests, I had Ari Shafir on, and it just I get 300 more views. I'm just I don't know how much bigger the guests need to be here. And the thing is I can't even get big guests on the show because the views are low. So then people wouldn't agree to do it. So I'm trapped in this thing where I can only really get my friends.
Maybe Gavin Newsom or something.
No, I don't think Gavin Newsom will do the bathhouse. Not if he wants a fucking career.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Well, no, I hope that, so next week is the last one?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, I hope that it comes back, man. I really enjoy it. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Well, me too. I like doing it, but for whatever reason, it just does not do well. I don't know why.
Well, I enjoy all your stuff, man. So keep it up.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Charlie from Florida, everybody. Let's read some super chats here. We got Jordan says, I finally found the show a month ago, but have been a Boys Cast listener for a while. The show is the most entertaining part of my week. You need to sell yourself better. I don't know how to sell myself better. I mean, I literally went on Tim Pool last week. Has 500,000 people watch that. I went on Fox News on Saturday night. 1.5 million people, probably 2 million people watch that show. I don't know what else I need to do. Boys says ban Slav and start beef with other streamer for clout. I don't want to do that. Reagan says get Obama on the show. That'll bring it back. Send me his contact info. Patrick Riley says deport Slav. LVM never dies. LVM will never die. All right, last call of the night. We're going to Alberta, boy. Yeah, we are. Hello. You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Danny, what's going on? It's Aiden. I have a long list of Jewish people in history that I'd like to go through with you.
Yes, let's do it.
No, I definitely do not have that.
Oh, okay. That's too bad.
Do you want to keep chatting about marketing their show? Are you familiar with the
Sure.
word puffery?
Puffery? No, I'm not. I mean, I've never been particularly good at marketing, so let's hear it.
I mean, I have a theory that Canadians just suck at marketing, and you got to embrace the new American side of you and just lie. So puffery a marketing term for using phrases and statements that aren't real or valid. So you can say like this hair shampoo is the most volumizing.
Sure.
You can't define volumizing, so anyone can be the most volumizing. And you just got to lean into that and be like, number one call-in show, just like a lie, but also use puffery.
I mean, I do say that, but the problem
exaggerate.
is that the show doesn't. The thing is, the only way for the show to really grow, like via the YouTube algorithm, is like the YouTube just doesn't. The thing is like people tune into the show, I guess, who probably have never seen it on YouTube, because there's no really way to grow audio downloads. Because audio downloads doesn't really have like an algorithm built in. So there's really the only way is through YouTube, and people, I don't know, they see it on YouTube and, maybe like a few of them watch it, but most people don't really, I don't know. They just, people watch it and they're probably like, they're probably like, what the fuck is this? And then they,
this is my first time seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What's your ethical line? What's your ethical line for being marketing? Like, the thumbnail could just be an act, right?
No, because that stuff never works. Like if you do super clickbaity headline, like super clickbaity, like, there's some degree to which you can like, with the title, but if you get too, like you're doing that shit too much, eventually people catch on. Like we knew this guy in Toronto who was like literally this guy, he was like borderline retarded, this comedian. And he had this YouTube channel that he like would do these crazy clickbait videos where like the video wasn't even like what the card or like the thumbnail or like the description said, and they were like these, and like people just get so mad, and he basically like blew up this channel and then just destroyed it. Like it's one of those channels where it has like 800,000 subscribers. I don't even know if they're real, and like a video does like 200 views. The thing is, it's a very short-term thinking to do that, and it doesn't really work.
Is most of the traction from people actually listening to it live, or do you get people who follow like? Who
More people listen to these shows after the fact than listen to them live, just because catching something live, people have lives and whatnot. But like there's like usually a few hundred people who catch it live, and then there's a couple thousand who watch it. But it's just like literally the Bathhouse has just been 2,000 people watch it. Like if you look at YouTube, it's just like 2,000 views on every episode for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, damn. I mean, you're deeper in this stuff than me, but like, can you do things like I don't know if you know Jubilee, the content creation platform? They do clickbait titles all the time. They'll swap them out after the videos been up for a while. Do you start the videos with a clip of like you destroying a call-in?
No, but I don't do that. Like I feel like so many of the answers to the shit is just like do a different show and be a different person, and I'm like, I just can't do that.
So this is the ethical line, yeah.
You should
just fake it then. This is be American and fake it. Just have a buddy call in, say something stupid. You shit on them.
Trust me,
that bad boy.
I do not need a friend to call in to say something stupid. I don't know if you've caught any of these shows. The regular callers and the callers do the heavy lifting on that. That's not required. I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
Damn, maybe you just you got to lean into the boomers who want to talk to someone on the phone. All the young people. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, part of me thinks I'm just like maybe there is a reason why nobody does this format, because it's just like it is a dead format, and I'm going against the current here, and there's a reason why this doesn't exist anymore or barely. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, would you ever just does doing this help you with your other stuff? Like,
no,
I want to ask
not
you
at all.
Literally
all
you
this
can't
shit.
say like you're the host of the #1 call-in show in the world. Like that doesn't
No, it doesn't help me with stand-up. It doesn't help me with anything. I just do it because I like it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough. I mean,
no, it does the opposite of
that's
help.
your first mistake for making money.
Yeah, it does the opposite of help me. But I do it for the love of the game. The only reason you should do things.
That's very true. I mean, at that point, then you got to love it enough to keep doing it. How long have you been doing it?
This show for over 3 years. Probably this show is like 3.5 years, and the Bathhouse is like 2.5 years.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully you keep it up. Yeah, the Kill Tony thing, that's tricky, I guess. But I think that maybe there's a wave because they have a lot of new viewers. And like I was listening to the first episode today, and I was like, yeah, this is annoying. These people are very bitchy all the time. And then I just saw like, oh, there's other stuff. Let's check this out. Like literally just saw it was live. I listened to the Boys Cast. I thought I'd check it out. You gotta like catch everyone who's bailing on Kill Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the bailing on Kill Tony thing. The problem is that like podcasts, like anything, follow like a Pareto distribution, essentially. Essentially, it's an 80-20 or even a 90-10 thing, where it's just like 90% of all podcast views go to 10% of podcasts, and 10% of views go to 90. And it's very hard to like switch buckets, essentially, to go from like, you know, one to the other. It's just, it's hard. And I mean, there's a million fucking podcasts. Like, you know,
you're basically either going for slow organic growth or you're trying to get one.
Yeah, and I would be fine. I would be happy with slow organic growth. I understand how compounding works. I would be fine with that, but it's not even that. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Well, this is a change of topic, but I wanted to double check. If I was going to go to one of your Edmonton shows, which one would you recommend? Late nights or Saturday, Sunday? I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday is probably the best one to go to.
Okay,
those are always good. Yeah, and if you go, come say what's up. I'll be hanging around, and I'm stuck in that fucking mall for like 5 days. So.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'll be kicked. Yeah, the hotel's in the mall, so you literally never, if you don't want to, you never have to leave the mall.
You're like who's that guy who got stuck in the airport for a movie?
Basically, I'm like a cruise ship comic, but instead I'm in a giant mall.
Yeah. West Edmonton Mall. You can go to the water park.
Yeah.
Another tangent. I was curious. So, in the world of podcasting, are you familiar with the All In guys and Scott
Of course.
Galloway? Two opposite ends there. I was curious.
Yeah, I know them both. Yeah. I don't listen. I used to really like the All In podcast, but I cannot fucking stand Jason Calacanis. So it made me listen to it less.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. They just had some differing opinions on, which was interesting, but it's very hard to attack. It's easy to attack when you're the outsider. Now that they're kind of defending power, it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, they were like
weight.
he was like a fucking Trump derangement syndrome full bore guy, and then then he's like, oh, he's not that bad. And now he's like I don't know. He just but all of them were, except for David Sachs. They were all like Trump's the worst, and now they're all like Trump's the best. I understand the shift that occurred with all like the Silicon Valley people, because people on the left went so fucking crazy. But like I mean, during COVID, it was like the best podcast. They were really, really insightful and all this stuff. And then now I started listening to the Lawrence Summers episode today. I listened to it at the gym for like half an hour. I mean, they still have some interesting stuff, but it's, you know, like a lot of things, not what it used to be.
Yeah, you got to sift through it. I do like Scott Galloway, if you know his stuff. Like he has.
I know Scott. Things, I'm not a huge fan.
He just repeats the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he has particularly great takes, and he's always on with fucking what's that dumb chick? What's her name?
Kara Swisher.
Kara Swisher, and she's even stupider than him.
Yeah, she's brutal. Yeah, you can't listen to that one. He has a couple other. His Markets podcast you might like. He does it with like some young dude, and they just talk about like tech and trades and things like that. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his. I feel like you learn a lot of market stuff from All In podcast. I really like Neil Howe. I haven't listened to it in a while though, but Neil Howe, who wrote The Fourth Turning, used to do this like, I don't even know if he does it anymore, but he used to do a really good podcast with this dude who was like his intern or something. But it was a really interesting one. But yeah,
I'll have to check it out. I mean, right now, listening to anything that tells you about financial markets is pointless, because it's like you might as well just download Truth Social and then you'll get the most up to date.
Yeah, exactly. And God knows what'll happen. Although my prediction is that the markets are going to go down. I think. I think people are thinking that it's all over, and it is not all over. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I got to wrap this up. Thank you for calling in, though. Hopefully see you in Edmonton. Later, man.
Yeah, thanks. Peace.
All right, everybody. That has been your show. I will see you next week. Not on Low Valley Mail. I'll be in Vancouver. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. I'm so stupid. What am I doing? Guys. No, I'm going to be in Vancouver next week. No, I will see you for the final episode of The Bathhouse on the 22nd. No, on the 29th. God damn it. No, I'm not going to be back from Vancouver until the 24th. I'm dumb. Okay, no, there's no shows next week, everybody. I'm going to be in Vancouver. I'm visiting my family, my brother in Victoria. The final Bathhouse will be on the 29th, and there will be no shows next week. For some reason in my schedule, And now I rebooked everybody for next week, and now I have to call them and be like, hey, I actually meant the following week. I hate this shit. But the game is the game. All right, everybody, that's been the show. Appreciate you all. I'll see you in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Is there going to be a bathhouse on the Monday? Low Value Mail on that Monday? Oh, no. We'll be back on the 28th with a new episode of Low Value Mail. Guys, brain's not working. No shows next week. We'll be back on the 28th. Thank you very much, everybody. That has been the show. Appreciate you all. Sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
I'm really a poet, you know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurting. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comic through. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, I'm pulling up fresh on some flight shit.